restrictions for a light sport pilot don't apply to regular pilots who have light sport planes. So I was thinking, as a trainer, first of all, I don't want to spend the money. It would cost me like $4 or $5 grand for each kid to rent an airplane to give them lessons. But if I bought this plane, I get to keep it. Plus, it doesn't depreciate that much because it already depreciated. We're up. And it's an unbelievable. First of all, I wouldn't even get it if it wasn't for getting rid of this car I have that I don't need. So I just happen to have extra money because I truly would not just go out and blow money on an extra plane for kids. But I inherited in a divorce that expensive car. So I got
What'd you sell for?
Oh, don't even ask me, okay? Because I am so pissed
12
off.
grand.
No, can I tell you something? The sticker on it was...
God bless!
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus!
Mark!
Oh, you made a big job?
I'm leaving. I'm going
notice
down
I
fucking
don't-
stairs.
You notice I'm not making fun of you.
God!
You're a bigger man.
No, he always makes fun of me.
I know, you're a bigger man.
Actually, he's the bigger guy.
So anyway, I bought this car. The sticker on it was $120. Who knows what I really paid for it because I traded that Ferrari and got 2 Mercedes, one for Stephanie, one for me. That's the only reason I got this Mercedes. I would have taken cash, but they were offering this car, which looked like I was getting 120, as opposed to getting a check much smaller. So I take this car home, and it sat in my garage for a year. I drive it every now and then, and I don't want it. Stephanie has a nice car. I have my Chevy Equinox. So I decide I'm going to sell it. Do you know what the wholesale on it is in 1 year?
You were saying
$68,000. I'll never buy a new car as long as I live. That's $84,000. What I'm saying is, it depreciated 60 grand, basically.
50%.
50%.
In 1 year.
No, it's 2 years. It was slightly used when I bought it. It was the dealer executive demo. So what I'm saying is that I got hosed. No one can ever get ahead in the car business ever. It never pays. Unless you're going to keep it forever, or what he does. He just buys what do you buy every 2 or 3 years?
Right before...
Just every 2 or 3 years, he just buys a new one.
I sell about 30,000. Yeah.
And he always does it.
You got to buy it right now.
No, you're right, but you're still behind the 8 ball. The only reason you're not is because you keep trading them in on the same car, and you just put a little money in, and that's the only reason he doesn't get burned. If you didn't do that,
It's like a perpetual lease.
yeah, that's really what it is. I'm serious when I tell you I'm never going to buy a new car again. I've lost so much money with new cars.
I do really
If you
good
buy
at
just a year or two old,
Well, you buy new ones.
You got to check out that Genesis next time around. Their new one is just unbelievable.
I'm over cars. I really am. That's why I have my
It's not an expensive car, Tom.
I love my Equinox.
It's probably less than your Equinox. Actually, I doubt that.
I love it. I love it.
I just got the wife a Jeep.
I love it.
Yeah, it's totally dead. Maybe they just
What
need
do
to
you
turn
have?
it on.
It's an '08 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a Benz engine, diesel engine.
Did you had to put in?
No, that's what they had for '07 and
Oh,
'08.
because it's a Chrysler. Oh,
It was owned by them then.
It's an amazing car.
The chassis, I think, on the Chrysler 300 back then, it was the chassis was the E-Series
I
Mercedes.
just wish I could sell this.
I put up tires. and
No,
scams.
no.
Every single call I got was a scam.
It is
They all
Handyman
want
matters.
The cashier's check, the guy from India who's on vacation, but you got to deliver it. I mean, David, I did not get one legit call from there. Not one. One guy told me he was what's the guy's Frank? What's the Lloyd? Not the
Frank
the
Lloyd
fur-
Wright?
No, the furs.
oh, Mark Lloyd's.
Mark. He said he was Mark Lloyd.
Oh, the guy trying to buy it.
And he's going to give you furs.
How Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. And you know what I like to say about this show? Have you said that when I was on vacation, Mark? Did you say it? Did you say the longest running show in radio with a continual host?
No, because people just say, no, that's not true.
It is true.
And they point to the old Opry.
The longest running radio show right now on the air with the same host.
Now, how could I say that if you weren't here and I was hosting?
Well, because it's the show. Anyway. So, and welcome. And actually, Mark was part of it 20 years ago. He really was. People don't remember, maybe. 20 years ago, and then he went away for a little while. Then he came back. He went into the car business with service stations. I mean, not service, tire
stores.
Do you like the auto business? Did you like it? Could you make money with that?
I hated it.
Yeah. What's hard about it?
You know, I love computers. When we met, I owned 3 computer
Mountain
stores.
Peak.
That's right. And I love that. I love the growth of the business, everything. Cars are always pretty much the same, man. There's no new stuff.
This is a consumer advocacy show. So if you want to talk about business, you want to talk about buying and selling, career, neighborhoods, neighbor versus neighbor, we talk about it all. If you have a problem or a question or a complaint or you need help, you call us and we solve problems. That's what we do. 303-713-TALK. Been doing it for nearly 40 years here in Denver and longer elsewhere. And welcome, okay? Troubleshooter.com and Referralist.com, our websites, plus our Facebook. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. And we are live on iHeartRadio app all over the country. Okay, so, Mark, when you said the computer business,
yep.
I remember Mark and I spent 6 hours building a computer, a custom computer.
It was actually for your bus, a GPS system.
Yeah, it was before they had them stock. We built a computer with a monitor we were going to install in the bus. And, well, there was a monitor. We were going to piggyback on that monitor that was in there. It wasn't meant to be. They didn't have them back then. I mean, they really didn't. The idea of having a screen with a GPS in a vehicle, it was just starting. But there was a screen in there for other reasons, for monitoring. And I decided, it was a Rockstar bus I bought years ago. And Mark and I decided we're going to put a GPS in it. So we did all this work and snaked the GPS and all that and got the computer. 6 hours on the computer alone. And we're starting to put it in the case. And I spilled a Coke on the board.
Right on the motherboard.
And we tried to blow it off. We tried to dry it, and it didn't work.
We'll call it a Coke.
It was a Coke, right?
Yes.
Because I don't drink beer. But anyway, this was 6 hours. And what the joke is that to this day I still spill all the time.
Oh, don't even go there. I already know where you...
Anyway, so welcome. Let's go to the phone.
Hey, real quick.
And we have a common man buddy, friend, who comes in. You know how we do that. We pluck you from the great unwashed, have you bask in radio glory.
I got mediation Thursday with Uber. I sued them.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about that after the break, though.
Yeah, so. But these guys, they hired a big-time law firm.
Listen to this. Mark was asking for about $1,000 for his phone because of all that. We're going to explain the story. And just hiring this attorney to go to this arbitration, this big giant law firm, is going to cost them at least $5,000.
Oh, easily.
Easily, right? So we're going to talk about that and anything on your mind. In studio, our friend, we'll talk about him in a minute here. I don't know how he comes to us, but the only requirement to come here as a common man is you have to be a long-time listener and you have to love and adore me. That's it. Stacia, what's going on, Stacia?
Hi there, how are you?
Good. What's going on with your fridge?
Well, we had gone in on Black Friday and purchased a new refrigerator from the Sears Appliance homeroom in Arvada.
Okay.
And it was scheduled for delivery on December 4th.
Okay.
It took them 3 times of canceling and rescheduled delivery to get it here. When they got it here, the item was broken.
You know, Sears, it's amazing. Sears, not only are they a dinosaur and they're in the death knell right now, you would believe, you would think they'd bend over backwards to help, just to thank God I have a customer.
Not if they're on the way out.
Exactly.
So anyway, did you ever get your fridge, yes or no?
Well, yes, we got a broken one, and then
did they fix it?
We got a new one, an upgraded one, and it worked great for about 5 days. The air compressor went out and all of the food, and it was garbage.
Wait, so you get a first one and it's broken, meaning it's broken right out of the box?
Yes, and I sent it back. I didn't even let them bring it in the house.
And the second one literally broke in 2 or 3 weeks?
Within 5 days it broke.
Oh, 5 days. I'm sorry. So this
air
whole deal,
compressor went out.
was through 3. So what's going on now? What are they going to do now?
I actually have absolutely no idea. I'm waiting.
Why don't you
for
just
when
get
they
your
can
money
get-
back? Why don't you just undo the whole thing? Why bother?
Because we bought it on a Black Friday sale.
So
And after the time has passed, they did upgrade the refrigerator for us. And at this point, if I
so
get
you're
back
saying
to,
it's a good deal if it would work, so you want them to
If it
fix it.
works.
Okay,
Yes.
so we do have an angel. We call these corporate contacts angels. Suzanne, don't we have a Sears contact that usually helps us? We're going to put you in touch with our Sears angel to see if we can get this done for you. Okay, that's all. Stacia, it's miserable. Sears is miserable. They're terrible.
Well, and the same people own Kmart. I mean, have you seen a Kmart?
And I first of all, Stacia said Black Friday. I really don't think that's politically correct anymore. I want to call it Diversity Friday, not Black Friday. Why is it Black Friday?
Asian Friday.
No, and why is it? It's not White Friday. Why? Why is it Black Friday? Ever think about that? So I'm going to call it Diversity Friday. Or how about just Hot Sale Day? Welcome to the show. We have common man, Patrick Abramson. Now, Patrick, how do you come to the show? You're a listener?
Yeah, I've been a listener for quite a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. That's one of the requirements.
Back when the Ward Churchill thing was happening at
Oh, my
CU.
God, a long time ago. That Ward Churchill plagiarism thing, I didn't lead the way on that, but I just piggybacked. A lot of people were talking about it. He was the guy that first, after 9/11, said that they had good reason for what they did, right?
Yep.
You know, I do think, by the way, the guy was an idiot and nut, but I think what he was saying was misunderstood. I mean, I'm not sticking up for the guy, but I'm saying what he was saying is, in their eyes, they were justified. I don't remember him saying that he agreed with them, but a lot of people took it to mean that, and he was pretty anti-American. I don't know where he is right now, but then people start, as the media does, once they get somebody in the sites, they go after him, and they found some plagiarized work. So wasn't that what happened with him?
Yeah.
And then he was fired?
I think Kaplis, I'm not sure, but
Dan
I think
Kaplis led the way on that, along with Silverman.
I think he went to CU, and I was working for CU at the time as a coach for their snowboard team. And,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I just happened upon that show, and then kept it on the station, and then you came up every morning.
It was
and
Craig Silverman and Dan Kaplis at the time. They were doing this with Ward Churchill. They were all over him. Is Ward Churchill still around anywhere? I mean, whatever happened to him? I wonder. Anyway, so you were a coach. What else? What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm teaching up at Vail. I teach private snowboarding
So
up there.
you're really into snowboarding.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 35 years.
Now, were you right at the beginning of snowboarding, or was it longer?
Kind of. You know, right when snowboard started to show up in shops.
I love snowboarding.
It's fun.
I mean, I don't know how very well, but I like it way more than skis. I find it much easier because when I was growing up, skateboards were in, and it was easier for me to transition to a snowboard than to try to get my feet to go in the same direction on skis.
Well, that's kind of what happened. I grew up racing skis and skateboarding in the summer, and the first time I saw my buddy show up to this ski area with a snowboard, that was it. I just started snowboarding since then.
Isn't it cool? I mean, it's so cool. So, what do you do for a living? Is that your living? Are you really like that crazy?
Well, I did it professionally. You know, getting paid by companies for about,
sponsored?
Yep.
Oh, really?
I had
so
contracts.
You were a professional snowboarder.
Yep.
And
Here's that.
Did you compete? There
That's
you are.
for you.
Are you on the cover of a magazine?
That's me.
Holy crap! So you're really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
well, that's what they paid me to be, is to show up on a cover of a magazine. So.
Do you know? Just because it's a winter sport, skiing. Do you know Molly Bloom?
I don't.
Oh.
No. But Sean White.
Molly Bloom, by the way, Molly's Game is her movie, and she lives in Colorado, and she grew up here in Loveland, was a professional skier. Her brother, of course, is really famous.
Okay.
And anyway, the Bloom family, and it was a great
well, the Bloom family, yeah. So Jeremy Bloom, right?
Yeah, you know Jeremy?
Oh yeah, I followed. I don't know him, but I followed his career.
God, that guy is talented. Holy crap!
Yeah, he's. I think
football now.
He's
right?
back doing something. I saw him on TV.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And does it say insurance broker?
Yeah, I've done that for 5 years.
Health insurance?
It's health insurance.
God,
yep.
That's hard to do. That's hard. That's why we have Integra Insurance, because they do, they help people. I mean, Anybody who tries to buy health insurance on their own is crazy. I mean, I can't decipher all of the programs.
Oh no, it's
Do you have any particular company you love for health insurance?
You know, the same plan that Mark had, AIG, the accident insurance. That's how I got into it.
Just the accident.
Well, I actually. Was it Dave Boucher who used to be on the show?
Yes, Dave Boucher. That's
So
how we found out about Integra. He worked at Integra and
Okay.
introduced us to the Jones family.
Mhm.
John,
I know them.
Johnny Jr., and Day. They're good people.
No, they're great.
They run Integra Insurance. I love them, and they really help people.
Yeah, whenever I have a complicated situation, I send them over to John.
I don't know how you guys stay in business. There's only like a 2 or 3% commission.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of going back to snowboarding.
Oh, no, it's almost impossible.
I'm not kidding.
It truly is. For the work that they do, I don't know how they make a living.
I don't think Kaiser even pays a commission anymore.
And I
don't
know
think
that
so.
I know that Medishare doesn't that I got, but they still help me get it, and they still help me with everything. So, by the way, Integra Insurance is on our referral list, and like I said, you don't pay less for going direct.
No.
I'm a little overtime when it comes to breaks, so we have a lot to talk about today, and I love talking about this Centeno Schultz stem cell, and the reason I love it, he was on the show yesterday, and we got such a great response. I want to give out the information for Centeno Schultz, a stem cell clinic. If you're active like this snowboarder, or you're just getting older and you're getting sore, stem cell therapy is very controversial right now because there are so many fakes and phonies out there. I'm going to give you a hint. If they don't use imaging to deliver the shots, if they don't use living stem cells harvested from you, they're phony. No matter what any clinic says, and I will go up against anyone right now, anyone who says that they are using stem cells and they ship them in. You can't do it. These chiropractic offices that have amniotic fluid, it's not useless. They have growth factors. They come from living stem cells, but they are not stem cell treatments. Okay? You're not getting stem cell treatment. It's not what all the research has been done on. So if you want real stem cells, this is the original clinic, the original guy that did it in the country, and you can document that. You can go and look at it. It's Chris Centeno, Dr. Chris Centeno. His Centeno Schultz Clinic delivers living stem cells after harvesting from you. You can go and find out more about it. They can take care of ACL tears, most of them, without surgery. Back, shoulders, hands, knees. Their number, 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. We have so much more to talk about.
From the Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by Walgreens.
The highway drive in the metro area pretty much up to speed. For the most part, no stall for accidents being reported on or off the highways in the Mile High City at this time. A little blip
Al wants to do this live today. I'll try to work into a call if we have a call for you, okay?
Bit of delay on Highway 6 West Golden.
Okay, you say miss him. What
Well,
I say
you
is
know.
we didn't give him the
He was like,
opportunity.
I'm confused. I thought we were set for Monday and Wednesday. I said, Al, we can handle you tomorrow. He tried, I don't do
Just
this,
let
so
you know
I'll
that's a
take, remind
camera
me
with
to tell you
the
about Al
tobacco
after the show.
can over there, so you can't really see your face or go with
Okay.
your hat on, but that's up to you.
Sure.
Whatever you
No,
want.
no, no, black because typically business has their major sales season.
Yeah, they go back
Their
into the
books
black.
to the black.
I would like to get a shot.
In other words, third quarter sucks in
Yeah,
retail.
so
Yeah.
So one with,
prescriptions
Tom afterwards.
today. Walgreens.
I'd like to invite you guys snowmobiling. You guys ever want to go?
What's that?
Snowmobiling. You ever been on snowmobile?
Oh, of course, I love snowmobiles.
Yeah. I've got a couple in,
I haven't operated them as much as I have been with people who have, and I've
Looks to have.
But I love it.
Oh, you got to drive it in powder. You'll get
It's
it.
brutal. I
got it
literally
It's like riding a motorcycle on an open road.
Doesn't tell you right. I loved every minute of it.
What is it? One of the callers you went to John Elway.
Up in Steamboat is just flat, like lakes of just.
I'll show you the car.
Do you have a laptop there?
Going on.
Wow. Cool. I got a laptop in my bag.
Yeah. No, I was going to send you a link.
Social Security. But it's not good enough yet.
Is it really bad up there?
Oh, yeah, my laptop.
It's the worst.
That's what they say. Worse than like 37
Yeah.
years.
You know, if someone's straight
Well,
up,
places that have they're doing
They have all their lights open and everything.
I think everyone's about
I don't know about that, but those are all custom black wheels.
This time of year,
it's pretty big.
will be open.
pretty close. It's, you know, it's always pretty kind of shallow down until about mid-January. So Christmas is still just trying to get open if they can get storms. They can have just about everything else, but you know, they at all. Centennial Schultz can help you get things going.
So you see significantly less people, significantly less people.
Yeah, it was weird. Like,
oh no, they have art music. Yes, they have art music.
There's no doubt.
They were down.
Put it in there.
So I think a lot of people weren't on the slopes.
Brand new
The village was like, oh, they did that.
Because there's a lot of foreign visitors in the winter, you know?
Oh yeah,
We can normally sit on it, you see what it says.
Well, there's a lot of people that work there from Argentina. That's why we don't always see there. It's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah. Buenos Aires is like, there's so much cool things, architecture. And then you get outside of Buenos Aires and it's just.
So what's the problem? They acknowledge it.
Then they came back when he came in there and says, no,
Why? What was your change?
manager said, well, do it.
It's supposed to get down like July, video service to
That I don't know.
Jesus, why would they say they would, but then they wouldn't?
Yeah.
You've been a lot of places.
Yeah, Japan, all of Europe.
I would say someone else comes in
There a lot.
Do you ever go to one of
But apparently they make special things for
I did the Olympic trials in '98.
Okay.
And then I was at the Olympics in 2002.
You probably would have heard something like this.
I would like,
I like black.
if we just put a normal lug wrench on and it did that, I wouldn't pay for it. Now the real part.
Most people.
Oh yeah, you gotta be able to read. All right, yeah.
So you train?
Is that Colorado? Yeah, like St. Petersburg, won the gold for
See, that's
in the last Olympics.
Oh, I had that engine up here in Colorado.
Sean Ryan used to, you know, he was actually.
You see why they call him Black Friday?
Well, I have 100 words with the book back in the black.
It's pretty neat.
You're on the trouble.
Everybody knows that. I was assuming he was kidding. If I sold my
He's no kid.
Well, yeah, I call them all kids. Yeah, they're all younger.
Yeah, everybody's a kid to me now.
Yeah, Carl's a computer actually downstairs. It's just a terminal, right?
Oh, yeah, it's neat. Like, definitely some Olympic medalists.
And then I'll grab it.
And then a lot of the coaches that are coaching those kids, I know them or they work for me or something like that.
This Eric Cooper's like,
Yeah, it's cool.
Here, welcome to the show. Our common man here today is a professional snowboarder and insurance broker. If you have any snowboard questions, give him a call. I have a question. Is Goofy better?
No, it doesn't matter.
If you're that's left-handed, they call him Goofy because they go that way.
Because we ride backwards too, so you can ride both ways.
Oh, yeah, so it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, because there was a big controversy about that years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I know very little about the sport, very little. But it intrigues me because of the snowboarding aspect. Okay, so do you ski at all?
Yes. In fact, I just got on skis for the first time in 25 years.
You like snowboarding, but obviously better.
Well, yeah, I'm better at it. Yeah, but skiing, you know, there's certain terrain or conditions where skiing's just a better choice. You know, when conditions get really icy or the powder gets really choppy, it's easier to ski it.
What happened to Angela? What happened to you, Angela?
Yes.
What happened, dear?
I'm calling in. I moved into a home on Saturday.
Now, are you renting, dear?
Yes, I am renting.
Okay, and you moved in Saturday, and what's going on?
Okay, so I moved in Saturday.
Yes.
I probably didn't get finished moving until about 11 p.m. Saturday night, I realized that the heating was not working.
Okay.
We didn't have any heat.
Why is that?
And so Well, so the furnace is out.
Oh.
Yeah, so the furnace is out. We did notify the landlord on Sunday. We actually didn't sign the lease until Sunday. We let her know that the heat was not working.
Okay, when you let her know the heat was not working, you signed the lease anyway, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we did sign the lease Sunday.
And just so you know, you are somewhat protected. I mean, you have to have heat, running water, electricity, and security to have a home, to have habitability standards. We don't have many habitability standards, and but we do have some. David Salisbury is an attorney at law. Now, he's not here to talk about that, but he is an attorney at law, and I just wanted to say hi to him, and we will be having him talk about wills and probate, estates, trusts, estate planning. So, basically, you're in a home, and you have no heat still.
Correct. And even Excel Energy came out last night, and they red tagged the unit.
Why did they red tag it?
So their reason being is that the carrier gas furnace, the gas control valve is leaking around the body, must replace. The hot surface igniter has burnt out.
Okay, so how old is it?
The furnace is really dirty.
It's a damn good reason to red tag it.
Right. So how old is it? They have to replace it. Well, let's get right to it. What does the landlord say? The landlord can't collect rent from you with no heat. Now, obviously, if you withhold rent, you have to do it in a certain way to make it legal, and we'll talk about it. So if you're calling us to get help, here's what you do. You write a letter, and you say, according to habit, I'm not going to give you legal advice. I'm going to tell you what I would do. Dear landlord, according to the habitability standards set out in the state, I wouldn't get technical and quote the law. I'd just say, you are required to supply me heat and other basic necessities. There is no heat. Therefore, I'm demanding that you fix it in a reasonable amount of time, or I am going to withhold rent, and I'm going to put the money toward a furnace. Now, you can also evict yourself. It's called a constructive eviction. That means you just move, and you get your security back. Now, this is going to be a fight, unless you think we just need to light a fire under the landlord.
Does he pay electric?
Is it he or she?
She.
Okay. Does she pay for the electric? Were you saying, are you?
Yeah. What happens if that landlord says, "Hey, here's a couple electric heaters"?
Oh, who pays electric? Who pays electric? Angela.
I pay electric.
And you pay utilities. Okay, Angela. Obviously, you moved in, and you don't have heat. She obviously knows she has to fix it. So what does she say?
So sent someone out yesterday. He couldn't fix it.
Oh, wait. So is that the first time? Wait. You said you didn't have heat from the beginning.
Correct. And she was notified of this.
So when did you move in? Did you move in just this past Saturday?
Yes, just this Saturday, the 6th.
Okay. So it's not like they've been sitting on it a long time. So what does she say? Just tell me directly. I'm going to fix it, right? Does she say that, Angela? Just give me a little time, I'm going to fix it. Is that what she says?
That's what she said.
Okay. Well, then I'm not going to call her. I mean, why do you believe she won't fix it?
I mean, it's just taking a while.
It's taking a while. Hold on. Now, to be fair, Saturday night you noticed it, or let's say Sunday morning. Today is Tuesday. They went there yesterday to check it out, and today she finds out she needs a new furnace, or last night, or yesterday afternoon. What do you mean it's taking a while? Angela, I promise you I want to help you. You call us back, okay? Call us back if she doesn't replace it. I'm not calling. I'm not getting involved after a day. I mean, I'll help you. I want to help you. This is important. But I'm not going to do it right now.
The landlord could communicate a little better, though.
Right, of course.
I'm working on it. New one's coming.
Angela, we'll call the landlord for you if nothing has been done by Thursday, okay? Thursday morning, call us. Give her a number to get through on, Suzanne. Or let's take her number, and we'll call her Thursday morning. 303-713-TALK. David Salisbury, attorney at law. It's the new year, David. Any law change that would affect any of us as far as wills or our states or probate?
No, there isn't anything new.
As far as that.
Don't the tax laws change the $5.5 million for gifts, or no?
No, it doesn't.
How about death benefit? Or not benefit, death tax.
All right. First, when Mark says 5.5, we'll explain that. But basically, you're saying there's no major changes. There's no change
not
at
even
all.
with the Tax Act. Okay. I mean, it's really not going to change anything unless you have a very, very substantial estate, because they are coming down as far as the tax rate above that exemption amount that you were mentioning.
Now let's put this in English. Everyone right now is allowed to have $5.5 million in an estate to pass on without tax. Is that
correct?
Right?
Estate tax. That's correct.
Now, if you have more than that, everything above that amount is taxed, and the estate pays the tax.
Yes.
Okay. So if the 5.5 is exempt, is that amount coming down?
No, it's going to stay the same. In fact, it's 5.6 going forward.
5.6, okay. And that was established, that changed about a year ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it changed. It was a number that was going up, but that's where it is now.
Mark mentioned another thing, gifts. You're allowed to give away any amount of money you want up to a certain amount before taxes, and that's 5.6 as well, right?
Right.
Okay. People believe they're limited to $14,000, and they're not. Okay, they're not limited at all. The only thing that $14,000 is if you give a gift up to $14,000, you don't pay. You don't have to claim it. You can give it away, and it doesn't go against your lifetime limit. If you go above $14,000, let's say you give $114,000 to your neighbor or your son, 100,000 of it would go against you, or you would go against your lifetime limit, and you'd get the 14,000 exempted. Is that the way it goes, David?
That is, but the only way to use that, Tom, is to file a gift tax return for the year in which you make the loan, or make the gift. So you'd file a gift tax return, and you would declare that you gave a $100,000 gift.
Here's what I always wondered: if I give $100,000 away, how does the government know?
They don't.
I mean, they really don't. If you don't file a gift tax return,
they don't know. The only way they find out is if you died and you actually your estate actually got audited, which very, very, very few do.
Yeah, but
then they might find out.
The person he gave it to, if he gave me $100,000 as a gift, most likely I'm going to deposit it in a bank. When I deposit it in the bank, this $100,000, if I ever got audited, they're going to want to know where that came from.
Well, that would be
another way to find out.
Let's play a little.
But that doesn't help the IRS.
No.
You.
But let's play a little game here. If I gave you $100,000 and you deposited it and you got audited, they don't look at your bank account when you're audited.
Well,
they only look at your.
I've been audited before, and they did look at my bank account.
They have never once looked at my bank account in an audit. I don't know. I have absolutely no.
How can they do? I mean, it's money in, money out. They got to see where your sources of income are.
Honest to God,
and whether you declared it on your return.
All they looked at was my returns, and they looked at receipts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, money in.
Right.
And they looked at. I'm not sure. Are you saying
your accountant probably just handled it for you like mine did, but they definitely grab bank account records.
So they make sure that the deposits in your bank coincide with what you put on your income tax?
Mine was a business audit, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't understand. What I meant was I didn't know they went into my checking account, but they probably looked at, now going back and looking at it, when they look at our QuickBooks, they're looking at the bank account, right? Then they want to know, but then they'd probably want to see a statement to see if the money tracks through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, generally, you probably gave power of attorney over to your accountant, and he handled it.
Right, he did. Okay, we have a lot more to talk about. 303-713-TALK. We have David Salisbury here, attorney at law. And, you know, this is the kind of law that is inevitable. Now, the type of law Joe Lazara covers is not inevitable because it's only for people who either are flat out falsely accused, which doesn't happen that much. Okay, a lot of people think it does. It really doesn't. Or people who are just plain stupid and made a terrible mistake. And I'm talking about the drinking and driving part of his practice. And Joe Lazara is a great criminal defense attorney, but I really hope you never need him. And it's very easy. Get a designated driver. That's it. Or use Uber or Lyft. Well, Mark wouldn't use Uber. He's pissed off at them, but we'll talk about that coming back. But use Lyft. I love Lyft. Here's the deal. Joe Lazzara is there for you as a criminal defense attorney to get you through the system, whether you're guilty or not. We're not encouraging drinking and driving ever, but if you've been popped for it, you need help. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Criminal defense attorney Joseph A. Lazzara on my referral list at referralist.com.
Our
12. When the 100 grand get flagged,
no, the 11.
Yeah, I was wrong, I guess. I don't know if it gets flagged. Only cash.
You don't need accounts.
Yeah, I don't think. I deposit it.
But eventually, do you?
With checks, I don't.
No.
Then how would things know where to be accessed? I've always, like my Ameritrade account.
Well, you can certainly give it to the attorney if you want to.
Okay.
But somebody needs to know so that if something happens to them, they'll know.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to say somebody's worth X amount of dollars, but how do you break that up?
See, that's what I mean. These older planes just.
So, you know, you're going to name somebody to step in and take over your estate or just how to trust it. Either you, yours is
so it was never going to happen. I want to get those ours. Well, because I don't want the kids getting everything.
I actually did a factory.
Oh, definitely. But I'm talking about the difference between doing a will with a trust
when I say
or doing a
factory,
revocable
these steering
living
wheels were
trust.
literally in
We'll
the
talk about
factory
that
inventory
on
from 1946 in wax papers. But Univair bought all the inventory and they bought the drawings and stamped out new parts. So literally new. I mean, this panel, when I say I bought everything, I had a shelf. And I literally went through
decided to clean that hair up.
everything you see. New lights, new side panels, new glass. It's the only.
Everybody says that. My hair is so curly.
Look at it.
It could literally look
And I
different
did
tomorrow.
this all myself.
It's so weird. People say, "Oh, your hair looks different." It's like, "Oh, it's because of Tuesday and not Wednesday." Literally, it's so different.
And I did all
It is so curly.
This is
Some days, if it's humid, like we had our carpet cleaned in our house Saturday, and the entire house went up to 80% humidity. The next morning, I had an afro Sunday. So I mean, it's so different every day.
So that was my value. That's the problem. What is the value? Value is what someone will pay.
My former girlfriend was over one of the first nights she stayed over. She gets up the next morning, takes a shower, and hair's all wet. She's like, where's your blow dryer? I said, so do I look like somebody who has a blow dryer?
You should have said next to the tampon.
In between the
I only have 66 hours on that airplane.
right next to my
That's not
bra.
what we say here.
You've got to go one more day. Why wouldn't you go three? It's just overnight.
I don't like
Do 2.5.
I think I'll probably go with
Oh, yes, pussy. My God.
So we're doing fasting, which I think is the best thing ever. Let me tell you, you should go to and measure your body fat. I'll guarantee you it's down.
I mean, my weight goes down.
My body, after doing this 30 days fasting, literally for like 2 weeks, it dropped.
fasted for 2
No.
It's 1 day. Literally, anytime you're not eating, you're fasting.
You know what? I
He
need
does
to
the
go
3 hour
4 days a month.
I knew it was
Yeah,
For 24 hours?
for 24
So I
hours,
eat,
once a month.
and Martha's only eat 1 time a day, so we do a 20-hour fast each day.
Oh, okay.
And then, like right now, I'm doing 3. I might stretch it to a 0 water, black coffee, and next time I might get rid of the black coffee after that.
Now we know where the mood thing is. When I was younger, if I didn't eat, I get like, and not, I wouldn't say mean, but really jump.
Oh, I get mean if I
my
eat or
wife
not.
used to say, I mean, she'd say, go eat something. And as soon as I ate it, I was like,
I get mean regardless.
your wing down, so
You do.
I get irritated down.
you do
And then you
not.
just straighten it out.
You're like one of the most mellow people I've ever met.
That's my middle name, Mellow.
Mellows canter, that's right. They don't literally
Mellow.
like turn.
When I came in, I
was
slapped the
the best
doctor.
thing ever.
But
I
they're
said,
on,
you little fucker.
they're on struts.
So wait a minute, so how long
Then
you're going to
give
snap
it
2 days
it?
here.
like that.
I mean, 2 days, I'm going to eat.
Well, you do 2.5. Quit being a
But wait a minute, you totally fasting or you have that meal in the morning?
No, total fast.
Right now,
Coffee,
I haven't
and
eaten.
water.
Last time I ate was Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm trying, I'll probably hit 30. yet this time.
Really?
The first, I've done a 3-day fast 4 times now. The first time, the second day, hunger pains literally threw up. I mean, I was so hungry I puked, but then they went away, I was fine. The second and third time, hunger pains.
What else? You couldn't land them in.
Third day.
Only
This time, I don't think I'll get hunger pains. We'll see. I think my body's getting it.
Don't smoke any weed.
Oh, God. No way, Jose.
You'll wake up the next morning with Cheetos with orange on your shirt. But you know what's bad?
I don't remember him. Hi, Tom Martino here. I am your troubleshooter, consumer advocate. Going on 40 years here in Denver, helping people. If you have a question for David Salisbury, give us a call. If you have a question for our common man, and as our common man, Patrick, plucked from the great unwashed, as I say, if anyone ever wants to come into the show, give us a call and you can be a common man. As a common man, though, part of the deal, Patrick, is you can chime in on calls. So if you want to chime in on any of the calls, just turn on your mic there and talk.
Okay.
Okay, so so far so good. Do you think the woman, I think she was a little hasty, calling Tuesday on a problem that happened on Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, no heat right now in the winter.
Yeah, but
I
think really you're right. But no heat right now wouldn't be an emergency.
Not too bad.
I think you can stay warm. I don't want to make light of it. We will help Angela. Did you tell her, Suzanne, that we're going to call her on Thursday morning?
Yeah, I have her number, Tom.
Okay. 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Mike about John Elway dealership. What's going on, Mike? Mike?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, sir?
Hey, so I took my Suburban in. Just to start off, I have a Suburban. It's all blocked out. I got black wheels. And I brought it into John Elway to get tire service.
Yeah, I see your invoice here.
Right.
And what Deputy Dan handed it to me, and it's really tiny print. But you know what I actually did? Guys, look at what I did when I got this. I swear to God I did this. I went like this. Dinner? Yeah. Okay. Now, for those, I just instinctively put my fingers there and expanded it like it was on a phone, on the paper, because it was so small. Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
Did it work?
No, it didn't work. So I used these little readers. So here's the deal. What did they do wrong?
So I brought the car in to get serviced, and they stripped all the paint off the lug nuts. So I have another vehicle that's...
How did they strip?
Wheels.
How, you mean the impact wrench?
Right, so they have different settings. So
how the heck
a lot of wheels
could you ever, Mark, this is your business, right? How would you ever, on those fancy wheels, I would be scared to death with an impact. What do you do?
Well, there's got to be normal wear and tear. I'm sure now they sell kind of like a rubber, like probably a rubber one or something made out of something.
Plastic.
Not even that. They just lowered the impact. So
okay.
I mean,
all right, does it all boil down to the lug nuts are...
And they scraped the wheel pretty good.
Well, are they willing to fix it and buy new nuts?
Say that again?
Are they willing to fix it and get you some new nuts?
No, so when I came...
by the way, those tuning in, we're talking about a car here. Okay, go ahead.
So when I went in this morning, I went in yesterday and they said, you have to come back and talk to the service manager. So this morning at 8:30, I went back and he came in and didn't say hello, walked over to the car and just said that he wasn't going to pay for it.
Why?
Basically told me that it was my fault.
Well, hold on. What blows me away is what they put on that invoice. Is that from the day it happened?
Okay, I don't understand this. I don't understand this.
I didn't want to get out of there without having some sort of
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Mike, I don't care if they said they're not going to pay for it if they believe they didn't do it. Is that what they're saying when they said it's your fault?
Right. We don't have curbs here. That's what his response.
Oh, did they take? I'm sorry. Did they take the wheel off?
Yes.
Okay.
Take the wheel off.
So that's from the tire machine.
Right.
Okay.
So hold on. They take the wheel. What did you have done?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did they take the tire off?
Yeah, so one of the tires must have had to have come off because it had a nail in it.
Okay.
Gotcha. So, Mark, again, that machine that takes that tire off that rim.
Now, they're not really tricky. You either have a metal duck head for metal rims or steel rims, or you have a plastic one for fancy rims so it doesn't scratch.
But the bar that goes around and lifts that tire lip.
Yeah, but that duck head, the bar never touches the rim, or it shouldn't. It's possible. That looks like it was done by the tire machine.
What do you mean? Okay. So they flat out said they didn't do it. So we have to get an expert opinion on it.
They didn't do it, yeah.
But they even acknowledged on there they did it. That's the part that's weird.
No, here's what it says. All lug.
That's why I'm on the call right now with you guys.
It says. Oh, it says all lug nuts paint scraped off during service. Order replacement.
Well, and then read the second line.
Hold on. Did they order replace? Let's one thing at a time. Did they order the replacement for the nuts?
Not that I know of, no.
Well, then it says left front wheel damaged while. Hello, sir. Hold on. Left front wheel damaged while here will require repair. They did acknowledge it.
That's what's killing me on this.
All right, we got to call him. All right, Deputy Craig, you're up. It's right here, man. Let's just.
I think they're going to say some service advisor wrote that, but that's not the company's stance.
Did the guy give you a reason? Did he basically give you a reason?
Well, that they did it? Or
no. Did he say we're not going to fix it because we didn't do it? We don't have curbs. What was the actual?
We don't have curbs. That's what his comment was.
And did you say it was done by your machine?
No, I didn't want to get it. What's the point in arguing and having an argument with these guys?
And who is the guy that says we're not going to fix it? Who is he? What's his position?
Service manager.
Okay.
So
I'll say this.
Advisors and then a service manager.
If they didn't take the tire off that rim, I don't know what to make of it. But he's saying they did, right?
No, that's what I'm not clear on. I have no idea if they took the tire off that particular.
Why didn't you send us photos of the damage? Send us photos of. Well,
they're up on our referral list.
That doesn't doesn't do me any good. Give it to me. I want to see them. Okay, we're going to look at them. Hold on a sec, because I want to take a look at this thing. If they did the damage, they have to fix it. I don't understand why these people screw around like this if they did the damage, unless they truly feel the guy's trying to put them together. Okay, I'll take a quick comment here about the lady with no heat. Go ahead.
You can pick up the phone and get anybody within 24 hours to fix it for us.
Okay.
It's unrepairable, they're telling her.
They have to replace it.
No, they don't. An igniter and a gas valve is common parts on a.
But they okay.
I'm a heating contractor.
All right, JD. But here's the deal. Fine, okay. But there were other things. I'm going to take her at her word that it needs replacement. Maybe it doesn't.
There could be a cracked heat exchanger. I mean, who knows?
I don't know, JD. But for some reason, they were told it needs replacement. But you're right. It could be that it doesn't need replacement, and they should just get it fixed. But she's not in a position to do that. So you're saying, you're saying Thursday's unreasonable, right?
Yeah, I mean, with anything more than 48 hours is unreasonable.
Okay.
Even on a weekend.
Unless it has to be installed. I mean, it could take.
Or if it's during the summer. I mean, there's reasons why you could wait.
But JD has a point as far as getting a diagnosis or fixing it. He's right. 48 hours should be plenty of time. He's right. But I'm under the impression it has to be replaced.
I am too.
Let's call the lady back and ask her to send us the diagnostic report or anything she has supporting the replacement. Okay, Suzanne? Thank you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Addiction is a terrible thing. I'm going to tell you some truths about addiction. It will never, ever go away on its own. It just doesn't. I know people say, oh, I'm going to try, I'm going to try, I'm going to try. As Yoda says, there is no try. So here's the deal. If you have an addiction in your family, someone addicted to drugs, prescription drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, and you need help, here's the great news. The Raleigh House, a premium addiction treatment center in Denver, with a few locations here in Denver, they have a line that you can call for help. You can ask anything you want about addiction treatment. What do they do? What do other people do? What kind of treatments are available? What does it take? How long? Does insurance pay? How much does it cost? Are there supplements? Are there things I can do? How do I approach them? How do I know they have a problem? What are the questions I should ask? There are a million questions you can ask them, and they're not going to try to hustle you or do a high-pressure sale. This is a community service. We got together with them, and they agreed to open up this line because before you make any progress, you need information. So please call today. Nothing is holding you back. There's no obligation, and every day addiction gets more deeply rooted. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. And Jason, you hear me, right? You text me about your addiction. You got to call these guys and ask some questions, okay? 720-893-5559.
You do. I've flown them a lot.
Oh, they drop you.
Yeah.
Oh,
have
that's
you ever flown them up like in that situation?
I have not flown skiers or snowboarders. No, I've flown up on snow peaks.
Okay. Land on snow peaks and stuff.
For practice on how to deal with the snow.
Okay.
Minor injuries,
Rather than doing it in the sand.
Yeah, to watch
You
out
do
for
it in
crash
snow,
on the
right, to
highway,
get,
Santa Fe just south of
to see how you react to that light.
Did you ever try towing in? It's called towing in, where you stick the skis in the slow
Practice
and then cover.
Yes, for practice.
Right now we got a mile high.
Okay.
Just to,
right.
I'm trying to think if I bought oil today.
Those guys that do that,
What did I buy? I bought Aetna and I bought.
it's funny, I've flown with.
that makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous and I want to do it.
I didn't buy
Some of the
oil.
times,
But
the
a lot of
pilots
these guys
put us
are-
on places that we didn't even want to be.
I've got,
and they're like, no,
in my new
we're
set, I only have
I
well,
think
I'm
I've
still transferring money, but
1,000 hours.
I'm going to buy some
That's an
buy and hold.
incredible amount of time for
I
a
think I'm going to split it between oil, but it's maybe that Aetna deal.
for most, these guys
Yeah.
have 6,000 hours. You know, they're or 10,000. I mean, they're the guys from Vietnam and from.
Because they're not the same company.
Well, and even so, they're making
Vietnam guys
make
make
money.
money. When you
Oh,
fly
yeah.
with someone from
And they pay a
Vietnam,
2% dividend.
they don't talk the whole time. They don't even talk.
So not a big deal.
The other guys that
Yeah,
come
on
from
top of
just,
that.
from just flying, they're, they want to try tricks and impress you. The guys that come from Vietnam,
They just get it done.
they
About
just sit there and they
180
fly. They don't say anything the whole time.
But don't just take my
But they put you on stuff that's
You know the thing I like about helicopter is there is no there are no procedures. What I mean by that is you have checklists and stuff, but it's not like slow to this speed. You know, with an opposite touch. You know what I'm saying? Every land is different. Every land, because it's a different day, different atmosphere, different temperature, different power settings, different fuel levels, different spot. You never land in the same exact. So everything is different every day. So you always have to just feel it. Whereas in a jet, you have standard settings all the time, don't you? Really? Yeah. I mean, is there really any seat in the pants?
Value versus
Not on this level. It's in smaller aircraft. People still
Yeah. Of course, but they're just numbers, right? This is your numbers. This is how you come over the numbers.
If you were someone you know,
We had a pilot, I was flying up this trip one time, and we're loading the heli for a couple days, and the mechanic turns to us and he's like, I wouldn't get in that thing. He's like, you're overloaded. I'm like, you're kidding. And then the pilot was filling the fuel in the helicopter. And he's talking to us, and let's go, and the thing comes off, and sprays him in the face. They take off, and we're just sitting there like, what's going on? He comes back, and he's like, all right, let's go. We're like, the guy just got jet fuel sprayed in his face, the thing's overloaded. I told you. They took him to go clean his eyes out, and then he came back.
Oh, they took off.
Yeah, they just grabbed him and took off. And then came back, and 60. All right, let's go.
My body cap's already
Just sat there like, I don't know. We should go. Like, no, get in, garage it.
So did you get in?
Oh yeah, we got in.
I think that's why I get cold.
When you get to go heliing,
Yeah.
and it's paid for, you go.
Oh,
If you're overloaded and you have to hover,
I do my physical in March, and we'll compare our blood.
but if you're just going in for, you're taking off your somewhere.
Yeah.
I do mine in March. I take my blood in February.
I trust. I've flown with that
No,
before,
you've
so I
already done
trusted him. I was like,
Yeah, but I got to do another one.
No,
he knows what he's doing.
He doesn't wait for
I have found helicopter you gotta take what you have.
Why? If you're getting yours done on a certain day,
They're not
why
as
would not?
disciplined. They're really
That's how
not.
you do it.
To me, they.
No, it's a new year. You get one every 1 year.
Casual.
Okay.
So let's do it end of
I
March.
know I've already got my
It's like
appointment
the
set. I got my physical. I do my blood and then
for when, you know, like,
the blood's in.
what he does is more like driving a freaking bus, you know? And then
I can't do it in February because I'm going to Vegas. So I can't take too much alcohol.
Or no, the airlines would be more like that. He would be more like a tour bus, maybe.
We're pretty close to airlines.
If you go,
Yeah,
anytime, usually before, I'll go 3 to 5
and then
weeks
the smaller
without
planes
drinking.
are like.
Oh, it's gotta be
the
the only thing I'm doing is my regular
But
intermittent
helicopters.
No fucking Tylenol.
Literally.
Tylenol will fuck up your
drink.
No, it'll show your liver enzymes if you take a lot of Tylenol.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Attorney David Salisbury is here. We have a question about wills. Do they expire? That's a good question. Do you ever have to freshen them up? Can you have one will, and if nothing changes, just leave it alone?
It can last forever to your death. Yes.
Okay. Do you recommend that people review wills even if things don't change? Are there ever times you just need to review them? This question is, do I just leave it? I did it. They did it 30 years ago. Do they do anything?
Well, you know, sometimes things happen, and,
well,
and a client.
If you're going to leave something to somebody,
what I'm saying is sometimes they don't know that there's something that should be looked at
because they don't remember it.
Well, they don't remember it, or they don't understand the significance of it, and
obviously,
so they just let it go.
If you name things to be left, I mean, can you say, I leave half of whatever cash, or do you have to name amounts?
Oh, no. In fact, percentages is the way to go.
Okay.
Because if you start doing numbers like specific amounts, you might end up, you don't have as much money as you have at the time you die, and you give
and all my vehicles instead of naming cars, unless it's a collectible.
Exactly.
Right? All right, 303-713-TALK. Okay, so what do we do at this lug nut thing? What would you do, Mark, if it was you?
The lug nuts themselves, I don't know, man.
I can't believe they're not replacing those. Did he at least acknowledge the lug nut problem?
They did right on the paper.
No. I'm talking to
the manager.
Mike.
Yeah.
Did he at least acknowledge the lug nut part of it?
He might be saying that's normal.
I don't know.
He's saying that the paint is that somehow that the paint's not quality or something.
And really, that's what I meant about the lug nuts. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Here's
what I do know. They wrote on that paper they were going to handle it. That's the big problem.
Here's the thing I think. Is this chrome or paint, by the way? Chrome or paint?
No, it's paint. It's black.
No, the lug nuts.
Yeah, the lug nuts are black.
They are black, I know.
Wait a minute. I know
the picture's weird.
I see chrome. Don't tell me. I see chrome.
I do too, but I think it's from the flash. They're black, man.
Doesn't that look chrome to
It's almost like, it's like a metallic, right? It's gunmetal.
It's like the,
exactly.
It's gunmetal.
It's like, what color is the dress? I mean, I see chrome on here, but the whole thing's black, right?
It is. It's gunmetal.
All right, okay, let's give him a call. I don't know. Let's give him a call. You did, right? Did you call him yet? Okay, we're going to do it right now, and then we'll get back to you, okay? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Carol has a landlord showing a house, 8 showings in one day. Is that unreasonable? We'll talk to you and everyone else coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around. One showing a
Take
day
it like
for
it
8
is
days.
and make it like...
How much is the lug?
God, you
I think he said $400.
Ask him about that receipt where it says that.
That lug nut set.
But can you do it before he gets
It's
back?
probably
So we have
70,
something to
80
talk about.
He's probably going to find out.
Just ask him. Say,
The
look,
rim repair is the biggest.
Say, we got,
If it's repairable.
we got a complaint, and you know,
You can see it. Scrape.
You can come
Here,
see
you
it.
can come look at it here.
I don't think the
I got
machine
it.
did that scrape either on the edge. Do you?
Right there.
That's
the scrape.
Yeah, that looks like a curve.
He's got that in writing, and he's wondering
See
what
the
they want.
little
I mean,
points and stuff.
I see that. You can see the color there.
Look at the color, the car, Tom.
I didn't get that picture. Wait, send us the car picture.
Well, I sent it to Tom.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's, I don't need
And this is what it looks like. I mean, these are fancy. This is fancy. Those are expensive rims.
Yeah,
I think they look like hell.
Are you saying he's a fancy boy?
No, I'm saying I think those black rims look like hell. They look like old. Remember your old spare was
He's
just
got
like
the black grill and the black. He's got the gates.
You like them?
I think on a white car, I'd like
This
it
is the gangsta model.
It is. You're right. You're exactly right.
I bet this guy pays with Bitcoin.
Then we're shutting them off.
I've had good arguments with a couple friends about Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah, just about like, they're like, yeah, man, you know. I'm like, well, then how do you cash it out? What do you buy with it?
Well, you can spend it in some stores.
You can't. It's gonna. I mean, obviously, it's gonna get better.
Buy a lot of Voodoo donuts.
You can
But
buy
you can,
babies.
But you have to. You can only cash in 25% of the time. So if it's dropping, you're just watching your money just go away.
And you can buy baseball cards with
They
it.
almost, they put the nix on it yesterday. There was going to be an ETF you could trade. That you could sell just like any stock like that.
Yeah, and that's
But
what I think
they put the nix on it.
But once again, there's 1,300 now cryptocurrencies out there. 1,300.
So what's wrong with that? How
So
many
what's the
currencies
value
are
of it?
there worldwide?
No, but those are backed by governments and stuff.
Oh,
Venezuela is going to put out.
What would you rather have, Bitcoin or whatever North Korea uses?
Well,
North
I'm
Korea?
not saying North Korea.
They trade in fingernails from the dead.
I'm not saying North Korea. I'm saying I wouldn't trade North Korean. What are they? What do they got? What's their currency?
Who the fuck knows? Fingernails from the dead. Dog teeth.
What do they call it?
Dog teeth. Not dog bite. Bang, bang.
Not shot. Dog bite.
I remember going to Italy and getting and having like
Lira.
1 million lira or something silly.
Oh,
Yeah, 750,000 lira.
How about when the Japanese came over and Kramer said...
Back when you had to have like each currency to go to each country.
They had like 1 billion
borders,
yen.
cards and stuff. It was pretty amazing.
He's like, they're rich.
But yeah, traded.
They buy one cowboy hat and they have nothing left.
Sure, he says, isn't that about $300?
Yeah.
He gets money cowboy hat.
That's so funny.
Have you guys watched Young Sheldon?
No.
Yes. Holy shit, is that a good show? I like it way better than The Big Bang
Oh,
Theory.
do you?
Oh my God, it is so.
I love young Sheldon, that kid. He reminds me of Bonnie. Yeah.
You know that kid. I guarantee in real life he's got to be really smart. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
too. It's too well played.
You're right.
That's like saying Sheldon and what's his name and what's his real name?
Sheldon in real life, I guarantee, is smart too.
Pardon me, Tom. Brent Ivinson's dialed in. For Talk of the Hour.
I get.
Thank you, Mark.
I said to Drew.
Thank you.
I said to Drew,
me.
if I've got to do an intro again and go right to a commercial, I'll kill you. Because I got a freaking email that show going. Oh my God, we go from 7 minutes of commercials to an intro back to a commercial.
Mark,
That's easy work.
this hour brought to you by is fine. Do it quickly.
So the handwritten will. That is.
No, it's called holographic.
Totally.
It's all, it has to be all in your handwriting, and you should have.
So you really did
witnesses
have
in the
eye
note.
Teddy.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
otherwise,
Did he chime in
you
right
can
here?
make
Oh, a lot.
Just make sure
I gave
you
him a
make
lot
it
of
clear
time.
who
He had a
gets
good time.
what.
He had a really good time.
And make
You really
sure you
tried him
put
about
someone
lunch?
Oh,
down
fuck yeah.
as
And
your
did his father
personal
really
representative.
Absolutely.
Your
Texted him.
Gotcha.
And that
He
if
kept
you're married,
texting.
you can make
I
it
look
right.
up.
I mean, did the
But I
kid
would
ever
tell you, always
acknowledge
put
that
an
he
altered
offered
one
it?
there.
Oh God,
Because
yes,
you
absolutely.
would heard
Oh,
that
so
could
he
be
acknowledged that he offered it and then said,
His sister's totally okie doke.
Oh,
His sister said she was going to pay for it.
And then when he
But you
told
tell
you
him how funny it was, how he laughed.
I told him, I said, Ted, we're not laughing at you. I said, I said this on air, I said, the funny part is when Tom walked back in and you thanked him for lunch. It was Tom's reaction. Because you just said you were buying lunch.
And we all ordered, and he goes, I'm sitting there, and he goes, well, Tom, I really thank you for lunch. And I went,
No, thank you.
and I look at you, and you're laughing.
Oh my God, I was on the floor.
You couldn't stop laughing.
And then just put it in
it
there.
was almost as funny as when you said that other radio personality was going to come in here.
Yeah, right.
At noon.
Oh God, you remember that?
Find somebody warm.
I said to you one day,
But
the noon hour came. We just went to break for the noon hour. And I said, we got to leave for 5 minutes. He's got to come in and cut some commercials. You're like now? I said, yeah, he's got to do it right now for his, the 1 minute thing. You go. He goes. You go. I'm going to Tim right now. And you got right to that door. And it dawned on me, I better put a fucking end to this because this could go really south. That was all Dan's idea. It was so juvenile.
Kind of like the mail yourself the patent. People think that's still. You do that.
Oh my God, I was terrified.
And you're like,
I was thinking, okay, look at this guy. He'd go in there, rip Tim a new asshole. Tim has absolutely no idea what the hell's going on. Meanwhile, Mark leaves the building.
And it's been right. Court will accept it.
Yeah. The best was getting called into the principal's office, so, and they look right at the video and go, "Who's that guy? Does he work for me?" He goes, "He's the instigator. He started it."
Does he work for me? I should say.
He did. He wanted to know. He goes, "Does he work for me?"
I'll start calling him boss. Hey, boss.
So you live down here, or you live up there?
You were instigating.
Oh, right. There was.
Oh, you are.
I drive up there.
No doubt about it.
I got friends, and sometimes we take an RV and stay in an RV.
I was trying to be
Bounce
funny.
around Vail.
So how do you get,
It was the comment that he was.
is it word of mouth, or the ski?
My boss, he'll get clients that come in and request certain people, whatever,
And leave it to solicitors
and then
to
they
be
just
emailed
kind
the
of
video.
take that level of
They're the
That's
instigators.
right. That's right.
they get them in and they call me.
Do you get paid?
Hello, Tom Martino here, your troubleshooter this hour, brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, we are a consumer advocacy show where we solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. That's what we do. And we have recovered millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And let's talk about credit card bills. I always recommend, people don't use credit cards except if you can pay them off. It's not meant to be used like getting a washing machine and paying it off for 15 or 20 years. It's not meant to have these high interest debts. Credit is a convenience. I think it's a protection. I love credit cards for protection. But if your balances get too big, there is one thing you can do, okay? And remember, this is for those who have high credit card bills. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. This bill consolidation loan, we want to make very clear, you're not saying, Brent, take your credit card balance from a vacation or a washing machine and finance that for 30 years.
No, because the problem with credit cards you're already doing that because of the way the interest is compounded.
Right.
What we'll show you how to do is put your equity to work in your home, and you can win on all three fronts. We can show you through this process because typically we're saving someone well over $1,000 a month. So we'll show you how to take a portion of your savings, apply it back towards your home loan. That's going to pay your house off more quickly and typically save you over 6 figures in payments and interest by paying your house off more quickly. We'll get rid of your credit card debt and then have you putting money in your savings account so that the next time something does arise, the next time you have an emergency, you've got some savings to rely on and you've got some money to draw upon, so you can literally win on all three fronts.
Yeah, so
because of what we're seeing.
When you consolidate that credit card debt for those consumables, you pay that part off of the loan quickly with the extra money you're saving. And that's
absolutely.
And that is a good plan if you have equity. And by the way, Ideal Home Loans guarantees the interest rate. If it goes down over the next few years, they'll refinance you free of charge. You got to give them a call for details on all of this. And of course, it's 303-867-7000. They have pre-approvals for purchasing too, which is like having cash. It really is. They can close immediately if they get an appraisal and title work. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Okay, speaking of loans and real estate, what happens if your place is for sale and you're renting it, right? Carol's renting a place. Is this true here, Carol? You have 8 showings in one day?
I did on Sunday, yes.
Okay, Mark said... Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my concern is if I'm renting, do I have to allow strangers traipsing through my home 2 times a week?
Well... let's talk about it. And as Mark said, he would rather have 8 times in one day than 8 different days with 1 a day. Now, your question is more basic. Do you have to allow it? That's a matter of contract. It's a matter of contract.
Most leases will allow it.
Yeah, and the landlord, even without in writing, should have a reasonable access for repairs and maintenance. There is no provision for access to sell the place unless it's spelled out somewhere in the lease. If it's not, you could technically put up a fuss. Yeah, you don't have to have strangers, but most leases provide for showings.
I don't believe I've seen that in the lease. However, when she brought me the last lease, she had it for sale then, and she offered me to extend the lease at that price, which is very reasonable considering what rent has gone up to. So I'm still on that lower end lease, but that was, her first showing. Then she took it off the market. Now she's got it back again. And how long do I have to put up with it? I'm really, really tired of it.
Well, Carol, if your lease does not address it, if it really does not address it, then you don't have to. You can say, I refuse, and then she will evict you. Oh, wait, she has to have a reason. She'd have to have a reason to evict you. Well, do you have a lease right now?
I do.
I mean, you signed it. When does it run out?
April, I believe, or the end of April.
Okay. Well, listen, you can technically refuse if it's not in the lease. If there's nothing in there about access from the landlord.
Ask her for an incentive.
It doesn't have to even say access for showings. If it says that the landlord shall have reasonable access,
that's probably what it says. Exactly.
It doesn't have to say for showing. No. Hold on. If it says reasonable access for repairs and maintenance, then it's reasonable access for repairs and maintenance. If it says reasonable access, then it leaves it open. Remember, this is a lease. It is drawn up by the landlord. Usually, in this case, I'm sure it is, right? And therefore, it's construed against them. They have to specifically spell out what they want unless they leave it open. If they leave it open, then you're out of luck. You have to let them have reasonable access. Then the argument is, what's reasonable? So what I'm saying, Carol, is if you want to send your lease over, you can, and we can have somebody look at it, or you can just look at it yourself and look for those items. And the answer is, if it's not spelled out as reasonable access or some kind of real estate thing, you don't have to let them in.
How long is the lease?
Well,
until April,
but then she's raising it $200 because rents are going really high in Colorado Springs, and I don't know if I'm staying or not.
Well, there's nothing. Let's put it this way: she can raise it to whatever she wants. So there, you got your marching orders there. You let me know what that lease says, or you can take it, handle it. Gerald, hi Gerald, what's going on? I'm Tom Martino, along with our common man, by the way, Patrick Abramson. And Patrick, how would you feel if you were a renter and the landlord had 8 showings?
Well, it could be annoying. I don't know. It just depends.
Would you let him in? I mean,
yeah, I mean, if they're trying to sell their house,
you wouldn't make them spell it out in the lease. In other words, if it wasn't in the lease, would you just allow them?
I wouldn't want to make waves with my landlord.
Okay.
That's it.
Gerald, what's happening?
Hey, I actually got a question for Mr. Salisbury, or several.
Okay.
And they ask, what do I need to bring with me to your office in order to do a will? Do I need documents? Do I need addresses? Do I need birth dates? What do I need to come down and do a will?
Good question.
Well, Gerald, this is David Salisbury. First thing is, I'm going to ask you certain questions. You're going to get your name. I'm going to get your kids' names. I'm going to ask you what you own, how it's owned. So is it in joint names? Is it just your name? And the values of it. So if you have those off the top of your head, then that's something you can give me. If you have a financial statement, you can bring that.
But the way it works, Gerald, is you have a consultation with him. And he does his consultations. And you don't charge for an initial consultation.
No,
right?
not to Martino people.
No. So then you go there, and then he'll get your information, your basic. Or you can call him and talk to him. And then what he did with me, and what I think you do, is you can email him stuff. I mean, you don't have to go in and have everything in one sitting. He most likely won't do it right there while you're sitting there anyway. In other words, you'll go meet with him or talk to him on the phone. Then he'll say, okay, he'll email you. Can you send me this, or can you send me that, or what's the address of your niece or your daughter, and who is this person? And then he'll write it, and then he'll send a draft to you, and then you'll say, oh, change this or this. That's the way he did with me. I mean, it was really...
and I have a checklist, Tom. I can send a checklist.
Yeah, so it's really easier than you think, Gerald. You don't go sit down and have him write it up and walk away with a will.
I would love to see a checklist of things I need. I'm ignorant to this, and I'm thinking, well, do I need to bring a copy of my deed and title to my house. You know,
He's not the only one. I asked David when he first walked in today, I said, hey, when we see you Thursday, we're going, Suzanne and I said, do I got to bring, like, account numbers? I didn't know either.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
And so he's going to send you a checklist. Hold on. Suzanne, get his email address, and we'll have David send him a checklist. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on, Mike? What's happening? Mike?
Yes, Mike.
What's happening?
Hey, I wanted to give a shout-out to John Jones. They with the Integra Insurance Group.
Good people.
Those are fantastic.
Good. And
Yeah,
what
so
did they do for you?
Well, so I quit my job and started to, to be an entrepreneur for my own business. And initially, I went and got quotes. It was like $1,200, $1,500 a month. Then I think I heard Mark talking about these guys. I give them a ring, and we're paying less than $500 a month and have some good insurance. Also, I'm Native American, so they did some research for me. So I had some excellent insurance I had no idea I had the benefits of. So,
Oh, wow. So you had some federal government insurance you didn't know about?
Only John Jones and Integra would even consider thinking of what he just said.
Mike, thank you very, very much. Frank, you have some information on Black Friday, you say?
Yes, I think that term is derived from accounting terms, where a lot of companies had sales or different things, big promotions in that moved them from the black, from the red into the black for the year.
Thank you. And that's where they say, hey, this is our chance to make up. It's our Black Friday. Thank you, Frank. And, of course, I was joking when I said they should call it Diversity Friday. We have a lot more coming up. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is the time of year that people start thinking about, diets and exercise and health. And I want to tell you that the Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, they know this, so they have this special for the new year. They were only doing 10 at a time, but they got the manufacturer to really let loose of a whole bunch, which means those $1,000 discounts now are still available for people who call them. You call for an evaluation, and you're in line for a $1,000 discount. You don't have to obligate yourself to buy. Just get an evaluation to see if you want it. And remember, they give free trial periods to make sure you love the hearing aids. The new hearing aids we're talking about are smartphone compatible. We're talking about the iPhone and the Android. You have an app to control the hearing aids in different situations. You don't have to carry a little controller, and you can even take calls with your hearing aids. They also have hearing aids to fight tinnitus and also to help you with your hearing loss, either or both. 303-534-0163, now with $1,000 off the hearing aids. That's 303-534-0163. The website is helpforringing.com.
Go from red to black.
That's what he said. Do they rough it up?
Mark,
Rough her up, or?
can I please handle this? Will you please tell me what the issue is with John Sterry so I can get him to stop this? You're a homeless man.
I've tried to call him. There's nothing I can do.
What does he need?
I don't know. I have no idea what he wants.
Can I call him and ask him?
Sure you can.
Okay, because I have a little bit more time.
Anytime you call him, he doesn't answer, so I don't know what to say. I told him I'd talk to him off air and call him after the show. That was last week. I call him, says voicemail's not set up. I call him the next morning, voicemail's not set up.
Okay, he just keeps calling. I just needed to know what the issue was.
But you didn't hear from Gil at all, right?
Oh, and I sent Dr. Patty a message. I said, we're out on the car with Terry.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so we're done.
She's on the lam.
Yeah. Did you need some more water?
So what?
Yep.
I didn't ask
you. I asked you if you wanted water. Or coffee or anything. No. Now you're afraid. You're like, no.
She'll grab your butt now.
No, that's sexual harassment.
No, but you were doing it at the
Chiefs.
Oh, you were doing the Chiefs.
She used to grab the other Chiefs, and so I switched it to these Chiefs.
I didn't understand that.
I emceed
See, I think for me, it would be like after the third or fourth, it would become sexual harassment.
Oh, you would say, thank you, may I have
I mean, I
another?
think you need to, I mean, there should be.
I always give Drew a hug like this, and his chair's so low, he started saying, side boob hug. Dude, sexual harassment. I said if it was anybody else, I just laughed about it. But I emceed this Corvette club thing, and the gal that used to do it has cancer, and so she's kind of had me helping her. And she would always, when they came up to get their gifts, would wrap them. And so people were like in the audience, like,
GoPro, you don't get those
so
knockoffs.
I have to tell you,
Knockoffs are so cheaper.
No, they got a new processor in the
so the
stick.
first guy
See what their
walks
stock
up,
is
he's like,
done?
he doesn't know what
There's
he's
no stock there. I mean, for filming like stuff that I do, you won't have the best.
You know what? It's not unusual when I have a widow come in and I'm helping her handle her husband's estate. And they start
drop their
and I was telling someone in the audience,
It still is the best. Yeah, it's by far.
Would you put face cream on and it did that?
He's not broke.
I don't get it. What did the face cream
Okay,
do?
it's 1.5.
He builds water, but he used to work in
We have that hard, but I'll do the best I can. Mark, I'm not asking you if you want anything. Do you want anything?
Yeah.
Mark,
What kind of face cream?
I'm going downstairs to get you. Would you like anything?
No.
We need a before picture.
What kind? $4,500 kiosk.
Can we get a
About
before
Flatiron
picture?
Small.
What's the brand? Start working with them again.
Can you take 4 next? His time's limited and it's a good call. So they went and bought $4,500 for face kiosk.
Case.
Turn her face red, and they won't give her a refund. $4,500.
I find it hard.
Is it the Israeli kiosk?
We must have done
Everybody loves it.
If you spend $4,500 on face cream,
I don't know.
you should have a red face.
What would you do if I spent $4,500?
You'd be in the backyard. You'd be in the backyard.
It's not a resort. You know, it's
If you get a before picture or whatever.
I'll try, but I doubt that because he's at work.
Oh yeah, because she went out and bought it. He tuned her up a little and took a picture.
See, how do you know if it was bad? She might have been looked like the elephant man. What's wrong?
Hey, Mark,
The face?
Mark, the John
She looked like the elephant man before this.
they've gotten rid of. As long as you keep paying for it, it'll keep going.
You mean the emergency room?
Yeah, the accident. But you don't let it last. Why?
Because they're saying they don't sell new ones.
They don't sell anymore. You can't sell her. You'll keep it. They'll keep it going as long as you pay for it. But the second you don't pay for it, it's gone.
You know, if there's something where I leave my kid,
That's because
you may have one child, but the grandmother doesn't
Oh,
always have 1 or 10.
you know, my sister got 15 grand.
So I guess the answer is we don't really go back.
$15,000 check.
She got what?
She got scratched by a
Make
raccoon.
it clear to
Oh,
them.
really?
And it covers emergency.
Or have a
That
question.
cost 15 grand for a raccoon.
It was
30
30 grand for the
we
shop.
need or not.
No joke.
But you,
It usually gives you enough to pay your medical, or your deductible and your.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303 713 Talk 713-255.
Okay, let's keep going here and try to help you if we can. Ling, what is going on, Ling?
So,
Yes.
during the Christmas shopping, we went to Flying Iron Mall and...
To what, Flatiron? Flatirons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, trying to buy the beauty for my spouse, because her eye wrinkle and, you know, black spot on face.
So you went to the mall to buy cosmetics, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. What happened?
So, when we got to the shop, actually, when we went to one of the kiosks, you know, we bought like moisturize for face and hand.
Okay.
And then the guy offered a free spa at the store. So when we got there, we were greeted by a guy named Jack.
Okay, I don't need to know all this detail. I need to know, you greeted by Jack, he was wearing high tops and black pants. I just need to know what went wrong.
What's the name of the store?
It's called MER, M-E-R.
Okay, what's the problem? Let's get to the problem, okay, Ling? And I want to help you if I can.
So the problem is when we tried to return the product because
she have a reaction, a skin reaction to their product?
Okay, well, you know, places don't have to take things back. If they're unopened, now listen, I want to make this clear to everyone listening. Refunds, exchanges, and refunds and exchanges are really up to the policy of the store or the merchant, except if it's defective, truly defective, that would be different, and or if it's a breach of contract, meaning they lied about a certain, they said it would do this and it didn't do that. They said it would take care of this and it didn't take care of that. Okay. Having a reaction to something doesn't automatically give you a right to return things. However, usually, if something is unopened and sealed, you can return it usually. So, which of those circumstances are we talking about with you? Were they would they take back any of the unopened stuff?
No, they would not do that.
Okay, why?
Because they said it's non-refundable.
Okay, and what about oh, the other thing is they don't have to warn you about non-refundable. Many stores do that, but it's not required. In some states it might be required. But Ling, now I'm confused as to why they wouldn't take back the unopened stuff. Now I could see if your wife opened up one of them and used it.
No, the reaction is from their demo.
Their what?
Their demo product.
The demo. Oh, I get it. So you never opened up the stuff at all?
No, we never did.
That's odd they wouldn't take it back. What's the name of the store, Mark asked?
It's MER, M-E-R-B-O-R, Paris.
Wait, M-E-R?
B-O-R?
B-O-R, okay. Merbor, or whatever?
Yeah, Merdor, Paris.
Merdor, okay. So, okay.
And these people pressure a lot of customers.
Okay, how much was this stuff?
This stuff was $4,500.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute! $4,500?
Correct.
And what did you get for that, along with the car? What did you get?
The cream and
how
LED.
How many creams?
They said it'll last.
How many? How many? Give me how many? What? One jar?
No, about maybe 4 or 5 jars.
4 or 5 jars. So one is for cleaning, and one is for prepping, and one is for night, and one is for morning, right?
Correct.
Yeah, all that crap. It's all crap. Most facial products are crap. It's all a lie. But this is incredible. Not only is it crap, it's expensive crap. $4,500. No wonder they don't want to take it back. They're not sure when another idiot's going to walk in the store.
That's just one. I've seen people purchase $8,000 to $12,000 in the store.
Oh my God! Okay, really, now let's talk about this. Did you put it on credit card?
I did.
Okay, hold on. Now listen, Ling. I have a credit card company that if I dispute it, I'll just say not as represented, period. Not as represented. And I would simply not, I would stick by my guns. Now, I think a good credit card company will stick by you on this.
I don't.
I do. Why not?
I think he loses that
Why
one.
not? If it's not as represented.
If they bought it, yeah, if they bought it, swiped it, signed it.
But I've done that before, Mark, and I've contested things that didn't work the way I wanted them to. Really, I mean, I understand what you're saying. That there's a chance they won't. That's for sure. But
that's what they're saying. That's what
who's
they're
they?
telling me.
Who's they?
Citibank.
What is Citibank saying?
They're saying, well, they haven't finalized the decision yet, but they heard back from the
And what did they say?
So I called them in yesterday. I said, well, they said once I sign that and it has that 14 days, I mean,
wait,
non-refundable.
Hold on. You waited more than 14 days?
No. I took the product back 3 days after the reaction.
Well, what's this 14-day thing?
Probably is contesting.
Their policy said
who's there? Okay, the store says non-refundable. What is the 14-day you mentioned?
The exchange.
It said, okay.
They'll allow exchange, not refunds.
Okay. They'll allow exchange. Will they do store credit?
No.
You know what?
They want us to try a different product, and my wife said, no. If this product doesn't work on me with the reaction, any of the product will.
Well, that's not necessarily true either. Ling, here's what the real story
Small
is.
claims court.
The real story, that's what that would be. This was our common man chiming in, small claims court. I would try that, but here's the deal. You did buy something non-refundable, and they are offering a store exchange or credit, really. And Ling,
14 days.
Ling,
yes.
Between you and me, okay, I know that it's a ripoff. In my opinion, it's a ripoff.
It is a ripoff.
Okay, but
I know that.
I think what happened is you guys realize that. Now I'm not saying she did not have a reaction. I'd have a reaction too, just because I got ripped off. I'd get flush and red and break out. I would. When I realized I spend that much money for...
No. The picture I sent you...
Oh, well, let me look at this. Let me look. Did you put the picture up there, Dan, on Facebook and YouTube? You did put it up.
And she saw a doctor, too.
Where is it, Suzanne? Face, there it is.
She ended up getting a shot and on steroid for a week.
I don't know if that means anything.
Are her eyes swollen above her lid? That's really swollen, isn't it?
It is swollen.
Holy
really swollen.
All right, so if I'm allergic to peanuts and I rub a peanut on my face, do I sue Planters?
No, you're not talking about suing, Mark.
Well, he was talking small claims court. You're talking about the credit card thing. I think the guy's screwed. I'd go down there and camp out by this place and tell everybody that walked up what a ripoff it was.
I would not go for a product refund in small claims court. I would sue in regular court for damages, for pain and suffering, unless they have truly a lot of disclaimers on that product. I would do it.
Well, I doubt they make the product.
No, wait a minute.
I'm saying the product's probably backed by whoever makes it.
Doesn't matter. They sold it. And here's the deal. They applied it even, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Mark, I'll tell you, you start messing with somebody's face, are they licensed to do it?
Well, how about when you walk through Macy's and they want to throw crap all over you? I mean, are these people licensed? I don't know.
They're responsible, Mark, more than you might think. They're responsible for what goes on.
So this is what happened, Tom. We went back to that guy, and he said in his 18 years, he have never seen a reaction like that, which is a lie.
Well, how do you know it's a lie?
Because I was doing, last night I was doing researches, and I ran into a lady said, has the same similar situation as my wife does.
What mall is it? Flatirons?
Flatirons.
Yeah. Man, this store. Oh God, what's the name of the product line?
That's what they call mirror door press. That's what they. I mean, I don't even have that product in front of me.
Mirror door.
Mirror door.
Mirror door.
Yeah.
Oh, you put a link in there for me?
It's
from Paris. Merdor.
Yes.
Merdor.
I can't pronounce it.
Merdor. I can pronounce it.
I mean,
crap.
I think if nothing happened, I want everybody to know that don't go there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Go hang out at this place, man.
I would hand out pamphlets outside the door.
Beautiful.
I would be very peaceful, and when people walk in, I'd hand them a picture of your wife. And
just do it for maybe a day. You'll probably get it done.
Is he breaking any law by making some photocopies, like a PDF, and handing them out to people?
Not if they don't ask him to leave.
A picture of his wife and saying, this happened after using this product.
Until they ask him to leave.
It's all honest.
If so, if it is wrong, then he can show on his phone, hey, look at this picture of my wife.
Yeah, but as soon as the mall asks him to leave, he's going to have to leave.
No, right. The mall can ask you to leave. But I would really do it. I would do it. And if you're going to do it, I would have somebody there with a cell phone to take some...
I'd go another step. I'd find some really ugly broad and bring her and say, look what happened to her.
Wow.
Really, Mark Broad? Really?
Yeah, come on, Mark.
Young lady.
We don't want to be part of the Me Too movement. Now, come on. So listen. As far as this goes, technically, they're not doing anything wrong. Okay, technically. They sold a product. It's non-refundable. I think it's outrageous. I think it's a rip. I would never do it.
I don't think the credit card's going to give her the money back, and I don't think Small Claims Court would either.
But I would want to get video of him handing out these pamphlets, and I'd like to put it on our Facebook and on our YouTube. I would like to do that. So hold on. Let's get his information. Ling, hold on. 303-713-8255. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. For trucks, SUVs, vans, sports cars, two-seaters, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, pick-me-up trucks, whatever you want. They have variety. And they don't just have variety for your new year in cars and autos and all of that. They have variety in financing. You know, it's one of the few dealers where you literally can choose from 40 different lenders to find a program right for you. You have a little money to put down, a lot of money to put down. You want to use credit card for part of it. You know, there are lenders that will work with you at Rockies. One thing for sure, they will get you 100% financed and approved before you leave. They don't play those games where they get you that car, rush you out the door, and then call you for more money. They don't do it. And Rockies has the biggest selection around. Why don't you go see them? 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
Show.
Attention.
I'll go down there and we'll do it live.
Yeah, and if you make it, you
should also look at video of how harassing they are to customers.
Oh, if I look at their reviews, it's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Bad reviews?
Oh no, they're
even
in
on that
every
one
mall.
guy she
They're
named
in
Jack.
every mall. They're in Hawaii.
Really? We used to go to Hawaii.
They have, so I sold my license plate frames one
Where's
day
this
in the
credit
mall.
card?
They let us sell them one day. They were next to me.
They let me do it.
Yeah. I was in Dillard's. Dillard's had me in as a special guest. Selling my license plate.
Comment on Dollar Tree.
And I had tags for Dillard's and everything. So they were next door in the kiosk. Security had to come to them and say, if you step over this carpet, or if you intrude on, because they kept like shooing our customers away. They were like hugging them. They like put the stuff on. They're like, you need to come. I know, that's crazy. 4,000 on it, but they're actually out of Israel.
You just dip your head.
Mark, you hear what you just said?
They're out of Israel.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Mark,
And they try
all over the country they do this.
They do it.
High pressure.
They take a big bottle of Kerry lotion and put it in new packaging.
They sell other things too. I'm not sure, but they.
Why don't we have it analyzed? Let's ask Ling. I mean, if they don't give it, take it back. Let's get it analyzed scientifically.
It's probably like horse semen.
Who is so stupid?
They say I'm out of line. She's throwing around horse semen.
But Mark, and I urge you to get your questions answered by the experts. I mean, how dumb can that guy be?
10th at 5:30 p.m. It's free.
$4,500 for a flat little.
Yeah.
That's buying hardware. That's like
my wife's in Thailand.
That's like buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, and the Asians are obsessed with that stuff. They're obsessed with skin and her mom. And dude, her whole mom's little crew, they search for face creams and they will spend whatever it takes. Yeah, no joke. They'll get these little things that are like, that beautiful stuff for you.
What's that one stuff that you have to leave?
Retail franchise for over 29
I know what you're saying.
Customer experience is unmatched.
They have
one of the ranked by Entrepreneur Magazine.
This one girl had surgery.
Franchisees with some of America's biggest brands have added Pet Supplies Plus to
I don't know if your wife's like
as
a lot of women.
No,
but a lot of Asian women. They come here. I swear to God, they don't want the Asian.
They also don't want Asian women. They're all Latin.
They are.
And they say, Tom,
Just like any other woman. You know, it depends on the woman, right?
But you know what I mean. Because I'm a white man in America.
Right, and so
humorous.
What do you think? Like American women are obsessed with like Asians are obsessed. They would come to the snowboard camp at Advantage, and they would put such a sunscreen on that was just pasty white, so they wouldn't get any kind of sun, any kind of tan.
When I was in California last month, I noticed all the women, young and older, long sleeve shirts, and I mean, bucket tight hats. I mean, they didn't wear shorts. They weren't going to have any sun on their skin.
No.
303.
I mean, for a while I was thinking, they can't all be worried about skin cancer. It's got to be they're protecting their skin.
Statistics show that 80% of
One
Americans
wrinkle,
will give up on their New
nothing
Year's
like that.
resolutions
So it's
by
not-
February. But there's one thing Americans
That's
never
vanity.
know. AM/FM radio.
There you go.
And what would you do if your wife came over 45?
Well, for once you wouldn't, but, you know.
Every single week of 2018.
Like I say, we don't understand. You see the picture.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might look like the Elephant Man before that. Look at what it did.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
well, there's this other cream you can put on that gets rid of the puffiness. That's the big commercial now. The bags under your eyes, you can put stuff on, like 5 minutes, it's
Go
gone.
to advancedtaxsolutions.com.
I don't know.
With the nation's
But yeah,
silver lining.
it seems
Actually, you use hemorrhoid for
Lots of that.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, but it doesn't work. People, I know people have done it.
This is Denver's talk station.
This has been a fun show so far.
Yeah, right.
On demand and streaming live right now at KM.com. Your place for Fox News Radio is 630.
Seriously, it might be an auto. I have it on auto pay maybe for some fee. Hello, Tom Martino here. We have David Salisbury,
Attorney at law. We've been talking a little about wills and probate trusts. And what's the main reason people have trusts, David?
Well, if they do one during their life, they want to avoid probate. They want to avoid the whole court thing and leave that to the family. And trusts are seamless.
Okay,
they
so
can
in other words,
be around forever. You put it in the trust. There's no probate. You die. The document says, okay, here's what happens. If you have young kids, you can leave it there in trust indefinitely.
So the trust is an entity.
Yes, it is.
And it survives you.
It does.
So anything in your trust that you put in there, if it's revocable, you can put things in, take them out, put things in.
That's absolutely right.
And
amend it any time.
At the time of your death, anything in that trust does not get included in your estate.
For probate purposes, correct.
Okay.
And the idea is to put everything in there. Why would you leave something out? Otherwise, why would you have the trust? If you're going to go through a probate, go through a probate.
And David does block pricing or
flat fees.
Flat fees for different jobs. I love that. You want it. You want a will. You want a trust. You want this. You want that. I love it. Okay, let's keep going here. What's going on with Alan? Alan, what's happening? Alan?
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
Oh, I have a Scott Trade account. I opened it right around 2015. Bought and sold some stock, and pretty active for, I don't know, 6-8 months.
Now, is Scott, Mark, is Scott Trade like the other ones? American?
Yeah, it's not as big, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what's the problem with it?
Well, I was kind of not really tired, but I got really busy, and the account kind of went dormant.
Okay, how much was in it?
I'd say it was right around like 12,000.
Okay, and it went dormant, and what happened?
Yeah, I just quit getting on there.
For how long? How long?
Probably about 12, 18 months.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, now the market's up. I'm checking the statements, and it just doesn't seem like it's all there. It seems like.
Were you invested in things?
I think Ameritrade bought them.
Were you invested in things?
Yeah, I had about 6 or 8 different stocks that I had.
So you had no cash on account?
Just a little bit. There was like $80 to $100.
Okay, so you said it doesn't look like it's all there. Well, what does that mean? Are the stocks there and they just went down, or what?
Well, I looked at the history.
Yeah.
And it shows some transfers of.
You mean things you didn't do?
Yeah, things I didn't do, and I didn't know if that was to cover fees. That I thought.
Mark,
there was
how would
really
that
no
happen
fees.
if you left an account dormant?
Man, I bought Sprint in one account in like 2000.
Yeah.
And I just found it, and I didn't know I had it till I opened up another SEP.
How many trades?
Well, no, it was fine. It was exactly where I left it off. I mean, that's my whole point.
How many shares?
Did Sprint I own? I don't even remember, man. It wasn't a lot. It was like $4,000.
So he's saying so the history is showing literally some sale.
It's transfers or something
well,
like
to
that.
transfer, you have to buy and sell.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just ask. There's an Ameritrade right down here in the tech center. Just walk in there and ask them.
Yeah, did you do that? Just ask them to explain it?
Yeah, I haven't yet. I just thought.
Yeah, that's what I would do, because
I need to get some advice first.
Well, here's the deal. That statement says it all. If it says you sold something, then you sold something. If it said you transferred, that's the part I don't understand. What does that mean? Transfer. Yeah. Well, what does it mean, Mark?
Well, if you okay, so like right now, if I've got 1,000 shares of John Deere sitting in my main day trading account, and I want to transfer that to my IRA, I can actually transfer the shares. I don't have to sell it and then repurchase it in another account or transfer the money. I can transfer the shares from one account to another.
I had an old E-Trade account, and they sold some of my shares to pay fees before.
They did?
Oh, yeah. If I owed fees and I didn't have money in the account, they'd sell shares off.
How do they?
I don't know what fees would you have though. I guess it all depends on your account, but I mean I can't think of any fees I'd have.
There were fees. I don't know if it was monthly. It was maybe yearly. There's like a yearly fee to have the account, and they sold some of my shares to pay for it.
Huh. Yeah, it's a pretty small fee though. I had about 2,900 shares sold from me.
Well,
here transferred or
how many?
Just walk it. There's an Ameritrade right in the tech center, man.
First of all, send us a copy of your account, okay? If you don't mind, send us a copy. But I would walk in, as Mark said, and just say, "Here, can you explain this?"
And I got to be honest, Ameritrade, since they've acquired Scott's, they'll probably just credit it back to you, man. I mean, if you're not talking a lot.
Mike, you have a comment on Dollar Tree. What's the comment?
Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I hope everybody listening to this show is sitting down.
Uh-oh.
I'm 71 years old. I'm hunched over with arthritis. My hair is white. I went in a Dollar Tree store in Lakewood and took 2 boxes of diamond matches. The clerk says, "Are you 18 years of age or older?"
Ha ha.
And I said, "Yes." Are people burning down houses with these?
I didn't know you had to be 18 to buy matches.
Mike, do they really require you to be 18 to buy the matches?
Well, I was hoping you could get an official on from the city of Lakewood and explain this one. I understand. I realize that the Federal Center is a principal employer there.
The Federal Center is an employer. You mean in
the principal employer in Lakewood?
Oh, I see. And what would you like them to explain, since they're a principal employer?
He would ask me if I was 18 years of age or older to buy 2 boxes.
We would ask Dollar Tree that. We wouldn't ask the federal government.
Well, either Dollar Tree.
Well, in some places you can't buy like butane lighters unless you're 18.
Why?
Do you realize up until November 1st, 1955, the farmers could buy dynamite in the hardware stores to blast stumps?
Wow.
To clear their fields?
Or get rid of their neighbors, one of the two.
Hey, Mike, were you offended that he didn't realize you were 18? Or, by the way, some of these clerks, because they have made mistakes before, they say this: "I don't care if the guy has gray hair and he's in a wheelchair and he looks as old as God. You have to ask, and you have to see and proof." I mean, there are stores that do that. So which part bugged you? The part that you had to be checked for matches, or the fact that they didn't just assume you were 18?
The fact that they didn't just assume I was 18.
Okay, and I know, Mike, I know. You know what? They're told, if you don't check ID, you're fired. That's what they're told, literally. And I mean when it comes to liquor or tobacco, and because they don't want them guessing, because then it gets down to, okay, what about if someone's 20 or 14 and they look 20? They don't want them guessing. So instead of saying, "Hey, if it's obvious, forget about it," they don't say that. They just make it black and white. They say, "Check everyone." That's what they do, and that's why they do it. 303-713-8255. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Radon. It's an invisible gas. It's odorless. You don't even know you have it. And more than half the homes in Colorado have dangerous levels, according to the health department. So here's what you do. Get it checked and get it mitigated, especially if you're buying a home or if you're selling a home. It's really an easy test. Absolute Radon provides the test at a very low cost, and then the results come in and you decide if you want to get it mitigated. And to get it mitigated is not expensive, under $1,000, and it takes care of the entire problem. It's not this big, scary system you think you need. They can do it and make your house safe for your children, for someone you're going to leave the home to, or for you living in that home, especially if you have a basement. But even crawl spaces can be a problem. They have a 10-year full replacement warranty on all of the equipment. They do free retests to show that they've done a good job. They have exceptional customer service, A+ rated on the BBB. 303-880-0682. They're on my referral list at referrallist.com. Absolute radon, 303-880-0682.
From the cream doesn't work, they can split the bag over there. How much time do I have?
This is us. Let's start with the good news up in the high country.
Can you imagine what the store says?
Damn it, how come I didn't think of that? That's good one. Did it come in a bag?
Well, they go back to the store and want, hey, the cream didn't work, here's a bag. The store says that, wouldn't that be good?
That's why every purchase comes with a free bag, sir.
I would think for $4,500 you would get some plastic surgery.
Downtown off to the right.
Go to a spa.
Absolutely. You go to a great spa.
Yeah.
You can fly all the whole weekend, man. Country.
Right now, partly cloudy and 50.
That probably makes it look a little better if you're running out.
You're up in the EK house.
Those guys, though, at that kiosk, they're killing them. I mean, if they're selling creams for $4,500, they're probably making a lot. Someone's in the back just squirting like Vaseline. Char. Here's another one.
Actually, there's times where 24 cents would have made me 20 grand.
They probably close up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Do you see that one email?
Not yet.
It says,
What?
damn it, where is it?
Face cream that fixes ugly?
Yeah, where is it?
The third one.
My wife showed up next Friday.
It says,
She has no makeup.
for those really ugly women, they have a bag that comes with a tree.
And I guess she thought that she looked like, you know,
It's got when you walk in,
yeah,
it's got trade and look at it while it works and give you his.
Oh,
give
and I look at
him
it and I'm like,
time.
No, after the show. I don't even like any of that, but that's funny.
Can he just
So get his number?
Maybe he
no,
can
not
stand
at
out.
all, not at all.
That's
He's
try.
looking at one
Yeah, there's a female judge too.
Yeah.
I don't have Andrew's
I'll
contact
send you
info.
Andrew.
She liked me a whole lot better.
I would just hate to be.
I'm just gonna get his number and let you talk to him after the show, babe. Okay?
Yeah.
So the bad thing.
I don't want to log into it.
Right, right. All of a sudden, yeah, Mark Major is the only one in there. Yeah. To a degree. Preposterous.
Go to startslimvans.com or call 1-800-514.
What'd you think, Dave? You grab a real ugly broad, you bring her down there, and you show her off.
Look at that. One dagger. Sometimes you have to do a two dagger. Or even worse, you wake up in the morning and you've got your arm underneath her head, you look over and you go, I'm just going to cut the arm off.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to wake up. I'm going to gnaw my arm.
Coyote ugly, that's what they call.
There was a great commercial. I don't even know what the thing is, but this guy wakes up, like middle-aged, and he looks over at this woman, and he slowly gets up and he grabs his shoes and his trousers, and he's like, and he's walking down the stairs, and you look at the pictures on the wall. It's him and her. They're married. I don't even know what the commercial was about, but it was a great commercial.
Did you read this about 24 Pixels? George never had an agency and never will.
Read your text. I saw it. I didn't know what to make at all. Ask George if he does. Well, who's he buying TV from?
Yeah. Where he wakes up, he smiles.
Well, what do you make of it with that?
I don't know. Like,
ask George, though. That's the first. I was going to ask you. I was going to say, I mean, that's all George.
But
yeah.
It was stupid. It was stupid. It was stupid.
I would hate to think like they're trying
and
to
then it's also just sweaty, slurring.
I've got this one old biddy that listens to me and just complains. I always try to say stuff like that just as cool.
There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address your concerns.
Lounge past the elevators to your right.
893-5559.
The Raleigh House is a premier addiction recovery program located here in Colorado. You'll speak to
Guaranteed to fix ugly.
Can you imagine selling that shit in the hall? Hey, you, come over here. I realize you're not that handsome. You're a very handsome woman. You need our special $4,500.
I notice you're walking by yourself.
I notice you're not with it.
You're not with anyone.
I wonder how many sales they make one sale a day.
Oh shit! They pay the rent for the kiosk.
And it's a kiosk.
I wanted to buy her a kiosk in Park Meadows right before it opened up for a coffee cart. She wanted nothing to do with it. We would have been.
Or something like
we would have been the next Rockefellers.
Or in the
this was before Starbucks was big. Any of this shit. Scottish roaster was going to be our roaster.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. So let's go to the phones and solve your problems. If you want to save big money, Simply Floors will do it for you. I love when a guy can go in business, make it small, intimate, a beautiful selection, a big showroom, and beat the big box stores. You know why? Because his profit margins are lower, his advertising is lower, and he simply takes care of his people. And it's great because he can compete with these giant mills and these giant so-called outlets. SimplyFloorsInc.com. See for yourself. Hey, that's a big purchase, so why not check him out? You can go to his showroom at 52nd and Ward. If you like what you see, you can do business right there, or you can call someone to your home. If you go to SimplyFloorsInc.com, they'll come, you set an appointment on your own, and they'll come. You save 40 to 50%. They have all of the same selections. That's SimplyFloorsInc.com. If you must call them, they do have a number, 303-456-4660, but they would rather you go to SimplyFloorsInc.com. 303-456-4660. SimplyFloorsInc.com. So, what's going on in your life?
You see line 1, and I don't think we'll have time right now, but I got a rash of crap while you were gone talking about pricing. We had someone call in and ask about a price.
Mary, go ahead, Mary.
Yes.
What about, now, pricing? Why did you get a ration of crap, Mark?
They called in. They said, hey, I got an estimate on a furnace, a brand-new furnace installed. They sent it over. They said, I want your honest opinion. I about was floored by it. It was so high, it was insane. Next thing you know, I've got everybody in the HVAC business saying, Tom and you used to never talk about pricing, and I don't think you should talk about pricing at all.
Here's what I think. I don't think pricing makes a deal, good or bad, as far as the technology, the expertise, the customer service. This is what I mean. If you pay a lot, it doesn't mean you're going to get something great and you're going to have the best service and the best experience. If you pay cheap, it doesn't mean that either. It also doesn't mean you're going to get bad stuff. I'm saying pricing is totally independent of the service and the product. Because in HVAC, all of them cost around the same. You're not going to have, Mark, from the cheapest...
Not in this case we had.
From the cheapest to the most expensive, I'm saying wholesale is not that much of a difference.
Wholesale.
Maybe $1,000 or $2 tops. But I'm saying on the retail end, pricing has nothing to do with the experience. It doesn't. Now, it just...
Wait a minute. You just complained about $4,500 face cream. At some point, pricing comes in. You must admit that.
Mark, you didn't hear what I just said. I had said nothing about pricing, except it has nothing to do with the experience. That's accurate. Pricing has nothing to do with the experience.
That's true, yes.
Okay, or the product in HVAC. However, there are prices, in my opinion, that are too high, and there are those that are too low. And the too low ones won't be around, and the too high ones are just too high. We can talk about that coming up, Mary. So we ran out of time. I'll come to you after the break. I'm Tom Martino. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Talk about how you can help home buyers.
Our Ideal Home Purchase Plan that is an all-encompassing roadmap to buying your next home. It's our 3-week closing guarantee where we underwrite and approve your loan up front. Our home buyer scouting report where you search for your next home so that when we find the house that works for you, you can close and close quickly without overpaying.
IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. Equal Opportunity Lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
Has work got you feeling stressed and burned out? Dr. Jan Bellerman and Daryl Dennis invite you to join them at the Denver Athletic Club February 9th for Unmasking the Baby Boomer Myth. This one-day event will help you establish new and greater confidence in whatever you do. The new model isn't about being the best in the world, it's about being the best for the world. Learn more and register for this life-changing event at valueversusforce.com/events. That's valuevsforce.com.
It's like, it's how we even out the room.
What did the lady say in the car? The good one or the high price? Was it a good one? Or just the lady in the dress? All the dresses. What do you want to do?
Remember all that shit I took that day? Same exact American Standard furnace. No difference. 9,000 installed, 4,000 installed, 4,200. Literally done it over. In other words, not only that, the other people showed up the next day, installed it the next day, permits, everything signed off the day after, 100% done over. It's not like we just talked about it. It's done. It's over.
I think it was a better furnace too.
That's a ripoff.
And it wasn't, you know what, it was not cool.
That they would pay that. And they would shop around and find out.
Well, they did. They called me up and they said, hey, is this fair? They didn't know. And I gave my honest opinion. I didn't care who it was. I said, I would never pay for this. I would shop around. It was an 80% furnace. It was like, at this point, it was the cheapest furnace you could pretty much buy these days. He ended up going with a much nicer furnace.
For less than half the price.
Price fixer. You want with price fixer.
Price, well, it's Apple. Price fixer.
Heavy rain causing deadly
I couldn't believe $4,200. Is that about what that'll get you?
He got a 95% modulating furnace. He got top of the line.
And that was 4,200.
That was 4,200. Now the 80% that Cornerstone wasn't 9,200. They gave them good, better, best. One was 6,000, one was almost 8,000, one was 9,000. He went with the best that they wanted 9,000 for. He got for 4,200.
Petty Officer Devontae Morrow says 2 helicopters.
I got a new modulator coming in, man. Ooh, I can't wait.
And your furnace is fine.
Well, it's fucking 2001. It's 17 years old.
Your house is and all that.
It's 80%. My house is 6,000.
You should buy a new one when it's that old with that much. You waste the technology is so
oh my God.
Mine will save so much.
Just got gas. Yeah. Plus they kick back $1,250 to sell. But it's like, first of all, the fan runs on this new one all the time. Every room in the house, including the basement, will be the same temperature all the time. And the efficiency is so much better.
Okay. It's so expensive for.
Yeah, it is a big.
I feel like 12 square feet.
Say that again.
Efficiency subsidy type thing.
For the kickback,
yeah.
Excel is the efficiency.
That's like the 25%.
95% or higher.
25% discount.
Older
No.
I get, less is better.
Like $1,000.
No, it's $1,250. Doesn't matter how much you spend.
But if you can get a good furnace for 42,
that's right. Yeah. Mine would be more. Mine's way bigger than what this guy has. I have 6,000 square feet.
a couple cars, like my side drive's full of stuff.
What do your neighbors
American.
do they
The reason I went with American is because it's the same brand as my brand new AC. American Standard's pretty good. American Standard and Train are the exact products. One says Train, one says American Standard. There's no difference. And then Lennox owns Goodman. So Lennox Goodman, and then there's
So you got the RV in the backyard.
Is it Carrier or somebody else?
I think so. Carrier might be Carrier Train. No, I think American Standard and Train. I don't know. But it's weird. They all have like different ways of marketing.
draft.
Yeah. Think about it, if you're going to sell your house, or you move in, it's right in front of your flat.
But you wear Birkenstock when you're doing the work. That's what's important.
There's not as many houses at all.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it was
bad.
Yeah, real estate agent, like 4 millennials.
I mean, you might not get it back, but you won't lose it. I think you will, because if as long as the firm's
but you know what? All these people moved.
they're not going to say, oh, they said, oh, this is 80% or 85%.
Which I guess is great if you owned a home 20 years ago.
My house because our first 10 years old.
20 years old?
How old was it?
Not a bad
20.
Yeah.
And we didn't buy, you know.
I just took it off the asking price of the house. And we knew we were going to have to replace it.
And
If
you're
your
not,
furnace is more,
I mean, are you planning to sell
in 20 years,
We'll rent it.
Yeah, it's about to go in your house. And the relationship is really efficient.
with the way technology is 20 years, even 15 is up there. But I would
We're
go
right
20.
where all the grass is.
Like I said, when we bought the house, I knew
right on Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it won't pay if you're not going to live there long. Like Mark is going to stay there. It's a big house, and it has to do it.
And
Tom,
my
but
answer
for the base cream, if he wanted to just give you charge his credit card, what did you say? He wanted to know, what did you say?
Well,
Yeah,
not
as much
yes, and this is source of money if you ever
I thought he did that.
I don't think he has.
Most of it is I can do it. I'm in every couple of my properties. And as long as I'm not being realistically still.
you have an
Right,
HOA.
it's kind of like, you know, you don't put the carpet in right before you sell it. Because
One of the
then
things I look for when I bought this house
10
10 years ago is the easiest HOA, basically the lowest amount or the less amount of HOA. Because I don't, what if you
It's been
want
cold.
you want to paint your house?
But I've only paid, I paid $12 a month.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. Now if your grass is that would bother. Sure. But and maybe it's because I don't have a million dollars.
My wife's
not there.
Exactly.
It's your house.
No, that's,
Tell me what
I must have a very, it
I
must be a very.
they're down there, I guess so.
Yeah, the house.
It's old code. Somebody comes by. I've got a neighbor down the street that she'll call up and make things up. Like, she said that I have toes in my RVs. I got my little buzz, so they come over and inspect my RVs.
Yeah, I know what your love just went out.
Oh, we think.
What do you think?
That's what
who it is.
Right, and that's
With
what
what?
the guy says. We're not going to
That
ever
personal inventory
never like
from Denver.
She said that I was running a guided business.
The Denver tax, they sent us, the assessor's office.
Oh, I just fill it out. Mine will be under 500. I got a couple of computers. I don't know. Ours is always under. Yours is always under. We have enough. This year, let's keep copies because it's evident they're going to send them every year. But it's, I mean, in reality, we have nothing.
Hello, I'm your troubleshooter, Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This hour brought to you by Art of Granite. I love Mitch Fleury and Art of Granite. If you want beautiful granite countertops, he does. Or any kind of countertop. He does them all. Solid surface, stone, you name it. And he doesn't charge or mark up for the counter material. He doesn't mark it up. It's wholesale. He only charges for fabrication and installation. He also does cabinets direct from the manufacturer at a small markup. So give him a call if you want a beautiful kitchen. And unlike any other place of its kind, he gives prices over the phone. That's right. Send him a photo and some measurements. He'll give you a price, and it'll be pretty close. Then you go to his showroom, pick out specific stuff. Hey, you're going to get the job done in 1 to 4 weeks. 303-386-5919. The Front Range and the Mountain Community 7 days a week. 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. Welcome to the show. David Salisbury is with us, attorney at law. He does trusts and probate and estate planning. We also have a common man who came to us after being a long-time listener. He's actually a professional snowboarder. Isn't that cool? And he does insurance brokerage on the side, but he's going back more to snowboarding. He's been snowboarding for years. Patrick Abramson, thank you. Hey, Pat, on the snowboard side, professionals in snowboarding and skiing and stuff like that, mainly they do sponsorships. Is that how it works?
Yeah. It's Well,
they actually don't. They pay you monthly sponsors.
Yeah. So my profession was to I got paid by several companies, and my job was to like get on the cover of a magazine or be in videos and movies. There's also the contest
competition,
side. Right, and I wasn't paid to do that. They did send me to some, but I wasn't pressured to win anything. There is a side that's all contest, and that's where they make
you got to win a bunch of sponsors, right?
Well, yeah, but there's good prize money in it. I mean, you can win, 50,000.
Like the X Games, right?
But
yeah,
but
exactly.
You can have sponsors and also competition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, can you wear the sponsor stuff in the competition?
That's the idea.
So do people like buy a spot on the back of your jacket?
That can happen.
Or
some
patch
people,
or a hat?
Yep. People put patches on, especially when they're in contests. My thing was that I had a board sponsor, so that I had a specific snowboard, and then I had clothing, and then eyewear, and then every time that I got a photo, I got paid. And then I also got paid, monthly, with contracts. Yeah. And then I had
not how much, but you got paid for being on the cover. That's more than a regular photograph, right?
Yeah. So that was.
And it showed your board. They must have loved it. It shows the brand name.
It was the first time that company had ever had their name on the cover. They've had people on the cover, but never their company name. And so I got paid.
What is that name? I can't even read.
It's Ride Snowboards.
Ride. Okay.
Cool. And I got paid $15,000 for that cover. That was in my contract. Yeah.
That's great. So, professional snowboarding. If you have any questions, we gotta go to the phones. We got David Salisbury, as I said. And here's the deal, Mary. You started a conversation, or we did, based on your phone call on pricing. And I had said, we don't judge companies on pricing, usually. We don't judge them. In other words, we don't say to be on the referral list, you have to be the cheapest. Or to be on the referral list, you have to be in the middle. We don't say anything about pricing. We leave it up to people to shop around. What we do say, and what I have always said, is pricing is not indicative of quality or quantity. It isn't. You have to shop and be convinced for yourself that you're getting a good deal. Many times, I personally feel things are priced too high or too low. And what I meant by that is, if people charge too little, we had a guy putting in furnaces for $1,200 a few years ago. And he would go and slap them together, put them in, get them done. No permits, nothing. People were buying them up like crazy. And guess what? A month or two later, when they started having problems, he's nowhere to be seen. And not a month or two, but 6 months later. And that's what I mean by too cheap. If it's too expensive, then people feel they've been ripped off. So we're talking about car repairs, right, Mary?
Yes, we are.
All right. What are we talking about specifically?
Okay. Look, I have a 2001 Toyota Corolla with 120,000 miles on it. So I was told that I need to have the timing cover gasket is leaking, and they need to replace the oil pan gasket.
Okay, now I'm not going to ask you for the price. I'm just going to take a guess. So, oil pan gasket and the timing belt gasket. Timing belt cover gasket.
Yes.
Okay.
Along with fluids.
What else?
And the other thing is the power steering flush and the fuel induction flush. The total amount...
Don't tell me.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I bet I'm closer.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, hold on. Don't tell me yet.
You go first.
I'm figuring. Okay. I'm going to say... I'm going to say
$2,000.
I'm going to say 900.
No, I'm going to say 5 1/4.
How much?
Oh, they quoted me 2,000.
Yeah, way too.
Oh my God!
They're outrageous. They're outrageous. Outrageous.
I got to get back in that business.
No. That, in my opinion, is outrageous.
Now wait, the whole timing belt or just the timing belt cover?
Well, for everything that I indicated.
No, but I don't. There might be. If it's a timing belt, they could get up there. Now,
timing belt, water pump, tensioner. What is it?
Yeah,
it's the front crank seal.
Okay, wait. You never mentioned the front crank seal.
The front crank seal.
Well, hold on. Well, that's way different. Front crank seal. You never mentioned that the first time around.
Well, I just say the timing cover gasket is leaking. So.
But you didn't say the front crank seal.
Well, I'll be more explicit.
Okay, good.
Regardless, I'd get another opinion.
Of course you would. Who gave you this estimate?
Oh, I'd rather not say.
Why?
Or is there somebody on your list?
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Hey,
who is it?
I'd rather not say.
I don't care. I mean, this is why I want people to know this. I have no sacred cows. If I think now, I don't know if it sounds high after you said front crank seal. And other
She
things.
started adding stuff.
Okay, but I would like to see it. But hold on a second. I want to get Al Aramas from Pro Auto Care. And Al, I'd like to ask you if we had to have. You said an oil pan gasket. Is that right, Mary?
Yes.
Okay, so with that, you're going to have to change the oil anyway. Oil pan gasket. And then she needs a timing cover gasket. A timing belt cover gasket. Okay. And then, Mary, you also said the front crank seal, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said flush the what?
The drain and...
Power steering pump.
The power steering and what else?
The induction or the 3-part fuel cleaning, Al.
Yes.
Okay, and anything else at all, Mary? Like you left out that before. Did you leave anything out?
Front crank seal.
I got that.
Cover gasket. Timing chain tension.
Oh, hey, wait. Now she's
See, it is. It's going to be the tensioner.
Yeah. See, we're not getting accuracy. Every time I talk to her, something else is added. Here's what I'm going to do. The only way to do this fairly is for you to send that to us. I'm not going to do this like this. It's just not. I'm not going to. She keeps adding things every time. Now she said timing belt tensioner. Well, that tells me they're changing the timing belt. Why would they do all of that and not?
Unless it's a chain.
It has 120,000 miles on it. Okay, and it's okay. And have her send that to us. Okay, that's the only way that we can do that. Tyler, what's going on with you, Tyler?
Hey, Tom. I've got a lease question for you.
Yeah, what's happening?
I'm in an apartment up here in Fort Collins, and my lease ran out in November.
Okay.
And we actually never signed the lease.
Well, the one that ran out, you never signed.
No, we signed the one that was up in November 1st.
Okay, and you never signed a new one.
No,
Generally, they'd roll over.
We were going to be there for a year.
What's that?
They assumed that we were going to be there for a year.
I understand. Was there an automatic rollover in the November lease?
I do not believe so.
Okay, well, that's really important because many leases have a provision that if you do not tell them within a certain amount of time, they assume, or they not only assume, you're obligated for another year. So without knowing that, it's going to be a little difficult. But let's just say it wasn't in there and you didn't sign a new one, okay?
Right.
Now what?
So basically, we don't want to stay there for a year because we've had some issues with the rent increase, and also my wife was almost abducted by a man at night up here in Fort Collins. She's a medical massage therapist. And
how was she almost abducted?
He was standing outside of her work, and he was trying to get in.
Holy!
Asking her to open the door and try to get in and grab her.
Well,
the door
wait, he say let me in so I can grab you, or I mean, did he say he wanted a massage or what?
Well, he was yelling at her, saying that he wanted to get into the building, and then she said no, and then he said, "You think I'm a killer?" And
wow,
he started kind of yelling at her. So yeah, and it was dark out, and he was dressed up in black clothing.
So listen, you're going to want to get out of there, and I say this. You have to get, if there was a notice provision required in the first lease, that will carry over. All terms and conditions carry over except for pricing. They can increase it. But when it comes to the, what was the notice provision? 30 days or what?
He doesn't know.
I believe it's 60 days.
Then you have to give...
the notice provision to leave is 60 days, but I'm not sure if we ever told him or not.
No, what I'm saying is you have to tell them. If it's in the lease, you have to get... Did you already leave?
No, we're still there, and we're paying the same rate that we have.
Okay. What I'm saying is you have to give them 60 days notice to leave if it was in the original lease. It carries over.
Right.
Okay. So that's the only thing you have to do is give them 60 days notice, unless there is an auto renewal that you're not aware of.
Okay. So if it's for a year and if that's not in there, then all we have to do is give them 60 days and then we can leave?
Yes. 60 days from rent cycles, not just 60 days.
Right, right.
That's what you do, and you'll be fine. I mean, from what you're telling me, okay? I'm not giving you legal advice. I'd have to have somebody look at that lease. Al Aramis of Pro Auto Care, we talked about all that work being done in this. She got an estimate. We don't know, Al, exactly what was doing, what she was having done.
All the detail.
Right, but I do want to talk about what you guys do, because you have an incredible shop. What do you have, like more than 20 service bays combined?
23 combined between the two stores. 23 service bays. But I think, you can have all the bays and all the places. It's the people that makes the difference. And I think our people really step up. There's a thing called the ASE. People have seen it before, Automotive Service Excellence. We're a Blue Seal of Excellence shop, which means 75% of our staff is currently certified. We have multiple of master techs. We have advanced level techs. Why does that make a difference? Because you want the best people doing your repairs. You don't want amateurs or brand new people doing it.
And 25 years, right?
Years.
Yep.
26.
26 now, of course, and that you've been with us another year. And that's what you get when you go there to Pro Auto Care, and they have 2 locations. They're Evans and I-25. You go east on Evans, north on Dahlia, and you can go south on Santa Fe, just south of Bowles, on the east side near Arapahoe Community College. That's Pro Auto Care, and you can find all the specials under my name at 303proauto.com, 303proauto.com. And the phone number, of course, is 303-PRO-AUTO. I often joke with Al Aramis. I say he's one of my favorite little people. He's not really that little, but, I joke to Frank Duran, the real estate man, the same way. What a great guy Frank Duran is. He is one of the best RE/MAX agents in the country, and he has awards to show it. He can statistically show that he sells his listings for more money and for a shorter amount of time than most others. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you are looking to sell real estate, I cannot put you in better hands. And of course, if you're looking for real estate, I'm using Al right now. Give him a call. You will never be disappointed. I can guarantee that. You'll never be disappointed. 303-920-1622. 303-920-1622.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic.
I like that one.
What did Elwood say about that?
Never called back. Hey, you guys, Lakewood Auto Electric, those guys are awesome. They fixed an electrical. I called back and talked about it on the show. But we thought it was a transmission problem, and those guys at Lakewood found it. I can see the background. She said,
Mark, did you like my responses?
Loved it. I just don't understand where the original thing came from. Do you think it was purely just false?
Well, no, I did.
I mean, do you think it was made up for real?
The transmission, screwing up like all kinds of stuff in the car, but I thought it was.
Did you get anything back?
An issue aside from that.
What does that mean?
Hey, look at bottom right.
Those guys are genius. Lakewood Auto Electric, like genius. So that was like, I think I spent, what was it? It cost like $350.
Did you get something?
It got done in 2 days. And then they backed up all the grounds. So they didn't just fix that ground. So they backed up the grounds so it never happens again. There's more grounds that go on.
Look at bottom right.
You know that having a mortgage insurance payment is like raising your rate 1.5%?
Bottom left.
But I was like, man, I don't want to take too normal can because the first thing was the electrical part.
That would be the advertisement. That's it. There's not much more to it.
Transmission shot. Without trying to find that electrical problem. That's what. No, this is on a Nissan Pathfinder. This is my wife's.
Did you? Am I in that one you just sent?
NMLS 298191, regulated by door.
Man, that diesel G, that thing got so much power. That thing is so fast. I've never heard of for my friends in Alliance Leasing. I didn't know, and I
so you're going to go and
that was 0708, so right when the economy crashed. So and then I
think of the ketosis.
We saw that. Think of the new diesel.
Your
hair's turning, and then we found that 08. That was the thing. And that was Shade's engine. Your feet to perfect.
I'll buy my hair and look at it.
And now what do you do?
That thing can tow up to 7,500 pounds. What's the normal group rate, you know? Probably less than half of that. So we were looking at like Audi Qs and some of the other, SUVs at that size, and they can't near the footage.
It's great for the economy. I need my own IR channel.
Strong commercial for iHeart. I can't believe it. I tires on that.
Their buttons are bigger than her IQ.
It's on his vehicle or what?
Yeah, on the F-250, they said it needed tires. They put them on for no charge, but I mean, I can't imagine that fixes it.
This ain't the heartache that I thought I knew.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We love One Clear Choice Garage Doors because it's run so wonderfully. They do free inspections if you call them and mention the Martino Show, and they'll come out and give you a complete report on your door, which includes lubricating all the hinges and the cables and setting the adjustments. Now, if you want a new one fully installed, Wi-Fi compatible, battery backup, and all that, just $333. Give them a call. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 303-565-6409. 1clearchoicedoors.com. Betty has a problem. She's injured. By the way, we have some lines open. 303-713-TALK. And Betty just keeps talking. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show.
How was your trip, by the way?
It was good. I had a great time. California weather was wonderful.
Excellent. I'm glad that tax cut went through.
I am too. Oh, hi, Betty.
Somebody had like that mat.
Does she realize that I can't hear anything she's saying and I don't understand it?
It's so funny because she said her husband was turned on the radio, but in the bathroom, and I said, okay, listen through the phone.
Here's what I need her to do. And I want to get serious. Betty, I want to help you, dear, okay? Try to establish get that echo out of there, if we can. Unless, of course, okay, we ready now? Good. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
How are you? Betty?
Yes, hi,
Hi.
Tom. How are you?
Good. Now, you had 2 slips and falls, 2 accidents?
Yes, the first before Thanksgiving and the last Thursday night.
Okay, the one before Thanksgiving, where was that one?
Right outside the kiosk in front of my house. I live at the Rite Aid. There's a food kiosk.
Near Rite Aid, okay. So, what happened? What
Street Mall.
Is it? Oh, so it's outside.
Right, and there's a cord to the electrical tower.
Okay.
And it has a dark gray slate-colored covering, plastic rubber.
Okay.
But it's dark. I was headed toward the bus.
Okay. Now, did you get injured, Betty? Did you get injured?
Yes, I have a cracked rib.
You really? Wow, you have a cracked rib?
Did the ambulance come?
No, they offered. The police officer was there, and someone else picked me up, and he goes, "Oh, my grandmother's 90, and it happens all the time. Don't feel silly." I said,
by the way,
okay.
How old are you, Betty?
64.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's my age. I mean, you sounded ancient to me.
I sound ancient?
No, you did at first. Not the first time with the echo. Hey, listen, Betty. On a serious note here, what do you want?
Well, I couldn't find a lawyer, and I don't think that the...
Well, no. You can find a lawyer. I think what you mean to say is they probably didn't think the case was worth taking. Because there are...
The people that advertise on the television
right.
mostly are ambulance chasers, and they just want car accidents.
Well, it's not that they just want car accidents. That they want things that they can collect on. And in order to have that, and I'm telling you the truth here so it can save you some time, what personal injury attorneys do is they work on a contingency, so they need something that will eventually pay some damages. And if you're not extremely injured, and I'm serious about this, and if you have minor injuries and they're not lifelong injuries, and it's a slip and fall especially, many personal injury attorneys will shy away from that. one of the big problems is premises law. When you are dealing with premises, which is property, the property owners get a lot of leeway. There has to be a dangerous situation that they are aware of and refuse to do anything about. It's not just something dangerous. It has to be something that is obviously dangerous that they knew about and overlooked.
An example would be if there was a big pothole.
The city and the bid, I think the bid and the RTD and the city are all aware of the problem.
Okay, now, who would you sue? Who owns that?
Well, the city says they have no responsibility. I've talked to their lawyers.
They don't because they're a municipality, and to sue them is nearly impossible. I say nearly because for really egregious acts, you can sue them, but it takes a very special lawsuit.
I think this is egregious.
Okay.
I'm a former CPA, and I looked at the document that the lawyer for the bid that the Business Improvement District sent me, and they said, oh, we looked at it, and we don't think we're negligent, and therefore you don't have a case.
Right.
What do you think the damages are, though? Let's get right to it.
Betty, let's go to that. Let's say that they are negligent. For argument's sake, what are your damages? What are your doctor bills right now?
Well, I have another one tomorrow on my face from the incident at the bar where I tripped over their stage.
Yeah, but we're talking about the first one. You got to take one at a time.
Okay, we'll talk about that one first. I missed my vacation for Thanksgiving because I couldn't ride on the plane. I had gotten a note from one doctor and requested a note from the second doctor, and he couldn't find the pain. And I knew I was in pain.
And the second incident, how did you fall?
I was at the bar and grill and just having a beer. I was on my way to the ladies' room.
And what happened?
And I tripped on the stage because I looked up to acknowledge the roadie that was setting up the band.
That's not negligent on their part because you tripped over the stage.
No, but no. People are tripping over that stage all the time.
All right, listen, Betty, I wish you the best. I really do.
Agreed that people trip over it all the time.
I wish you the best. I really do. I don't see any negligence. Maybe you can find an attorney that does, but until you do, you probably don't have enough injuries. And you don't, first of all, I don't see negligence, but I'm not a judge. I just don't see negligence. The stage being there is not dangerous, and a cable could be, but it has to be something they knew about and refused to fix and overlooked it. I don't think you have the elements, but here's the biggest challenge. You can't find an attorney to take it because there's not going to be enough money at the end of the rainbow, and it's going to be too hard to try to prove negligence and damages. So I
have to defend myself,
Right,
Tom.
Then do it. You can file a lawsuit on your own. And it's not called defending. They're the ones defending. You would be the plaintiff. They would be the defendant. So you wouldn't be defending yourself. You would be suing. And so what you would do is you would put all your damages together and list them in a lawsuit. You can do a lawsuit. If you do it pro se for yourself, judges are very lenient on the way you do it. You would get a form, and you could download a form for a lawsuit, or you can just write it in a letter to a judge saying, I am suing I so-and-so at this address, you're suing these people, and this is why. And you can literally do it in a letter form and send it in and pay the filing fee, and you will get either a hearing where they'll dismiss it, or they'll carry it over for another hearing or trial. But that's the way you're going to have to do it.
And pro se is P-R-O-S-A-Y?
It's P-R-O-S-E, and it's pro se, meaning by yourself, and you don't have to know that part. All you have to do is fill out the form or give a letter to the court. You have to find the proper court of jurisdiction. If you're looking for, more than 10 grand, you have to go to district court. Or
15, I think.
State, well, county, it's $7,500 for small claims, $10,000 for county, right?
Yeah.
And then what? State court?
Then you go to district court.
District court, yeah. And district court is probably where you would go.
That's where she'd probably end up.
So you go to district court, and you can ask the clerk of the court where you can get a form to fill out and write a letter.
I want pain and suffering and living on the mall.
God, you're so nice.
I want world peace. I want world peace, and I want everyone to live together in perfect harmony.
Finally.
You're not going to get, Betty, I don't mean to make fun of you, but you're not going to get any pain and suffering. Let me just be straight with you, Betty. You're not going to get anything. This is going to be an exercise in futility, meaning you will get nothing except frustrated. You will get nothing.
No, I'll have the satisfaction of having my day in court.
Okay, now if that's what you want...
She's on the hooch, man.
If that's what you want...
The police don't talk up to their supervisors, and the city attorney tells them not to, tackle certain crimes because they can't handle the court fees.
So...
Okay, so they're run wild, and they don't tell their supervisors what the problems are. They have terrible technology, no face recognition.
What do you mean by face recognition?
There is face recognition technology out there currently.
And how will that help you? How will that help?
They should have it on the mall, and they shouldn't have the people with their luggage. They should have a pickup and delivery service. People shouldn't be out there with the baggage. Homeland Security is negligent.
I'm Tom Martino, and that is Betty's story, soon to be in a theater near you. The story of a woman robbed in the prime of life. At just 64, minding her own business with a Budweiser, and trips over a stage. That damn stage should not have been there. But she was looking up at the roadie at the time and lost track of her feet. That is Betty's story. PG-13. So, let's talk about bankruptcy, and I hope you never need wink and wink, because it's a terrible thing to go through. But a lot of people, they have death in the family, they have injury, like Betty, or you have problems, and they won't judge you, but they will help you get a fresh start with a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7. So when those credit card bills come in, I hope you weren't foolish, and I hope you can get out of it. They also do debt settlement. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com.
From the Fox Business Network on Wall Street, all the media.
That's what she should have done.
She was trying to grab him.
And you're right. She was so lit. You're right. Because I'm listening to her voice, and I'm thinking, 80 years old. You're right. She was confident.
Oh, my God, she was hammered. Oh, yeah. She was getting worse by the second.
Well, when she started going to Homeland Security...
I couldn't believe how nice she was being. All of a sudden, something went off in his head, and he realized she was lit. Yeah. I mean, at first, I know. All of a sudden, she's like, face recognition, and what did I get at the bar?
The coffee giant.
I was acknowledging
I tripped at a bar, too. Yeah. We've all tripped at the bar. Yeah. So let's not lie.
Mom just says, have you tried Dan Kaplan's?
She told Dan, you ready for this? She's running for governor.
All right. Well, there are a lot of people. Why not? That's another one.
I said, what party affiliate?
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment
Jack
account?
Daniels.
I have one
The
word
Jack
of advice.
Daniels party.
Stop.
Yeah.
Experts warn
Party
the
of
stock
Jack.
market crash.
She doesn't get elected. Who's your running to? Jim Beam?
Hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
I told her, I said, if you're going to do another name,
Brought to you by
you've got to remember what it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Your Aunt Betty, almost assuredly, I told
Hey, old Biddy, if you're listening.
No delays on I-70.
Call and complain to Tom now.
Way out to Pena Boulevard. Pena Boulevard wide open in both directions. Seeing some delays both directions of him stop and go on either side of Santa Fe.
You make fun of traffic.
Forecast. Mostly sunny today. High near 68. Tonight partly cloudy overnight with a low of 38.
So I did 4 shots in a 6-pack.
And I fell off the stage.
And say everybody falls off the stage.
She said it happens all the time.
At least she's not. She's the CPA. At least she's not doing tax returns anymore.
This is
She went to law school.
all new episode after the
She went
hilarious
to law
new game
school.
show Ellen's
She was on Just trying to jerk your chain, Jay.
No, I hear that kind of stuff.
She left the county. She does nothing but probate now.
Yeah, you have several 100,000 other people.
Wow.
Thank you for your service and want to see that you receive the greatest savings when it comes to owning a
Wishy, you should bring her in as a comment
when
man.
using your VA benefits.
That would be a trip.
And no mortgage interest required.
Has anyone come in
some of
here
the lowest
like
rates in the
hammered
industry.
or
If you're already in a mortgage, it's no problem.
I was trying to get these guys to do it.
Someone's had
Well, we had that guy that worked at a dispensary. He seemed like he
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's called a VA,
We had the one lady in there
available to
smoking pot.
active duty military.
I mean, you could smell her a mile away, the blind lady.
That's what I
Trying to break.
I don't remember her. I remember
She wasn't like literally smoking here, but you could just smell it big time.
Hey, Tom.
Damn.
So you still got one more left. You got Handyman Matters.
How come that old biddy doesn't call now saying how Tom
I don't
makes
have
fun
an
of
agreement
people?
with Handyman Matters, so what's going on with it?
I
don't have an endorsement with
all
that.
your favorite music, all
We
your
kinda
favorite
do.
stations, all free. This one
Yes, yes. It's not a steady thing.
biggest new releases.
It's a bump.
iHeartRadio is the only music app.
Love.
that
We're
makes
showing,
sure
yeah,
your
I'm showing love.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
iHeartRadio app.
That's all I need to know.
Pick a
Where do I
playlist,
find them?
Show and love.
or a station.
Mark, I don't have any
Oh, wait.
I thought you did. If not, I'll just give you the phone number.
So they should send us
Do that right now, Mark?
303.
And is it, okay,
See the picture here, David?
Denver's talk station.
Go ahead. 727-9600.
It's looking a little rough.
you know, I've known Handyman Matters for years and years and years and years, Mark. Did you know that?
I knew him when they started.
Glenn, Sandy.
That when they started way back, before Glenn and Sandy, and then Glenn and Cindy came in, they're great. And Handyman Matters, you know when you don't know who to call and you just want to call someone to do something? Handyman Matters. If you don't know who to call, you call them. They can do all kinds of stuff, even minor plumbing things that don't require the license, you know, the permits. And they can do ceiling fans and light fixtures, and they can do stuff like
Painting
fencing
fences.
and fix doors, adjust windows. I really like them. And all you do is call, and it's that easy. They can give you an estimate, go out and tell you exactly what things will cost. And you can also do package deals where you get a handyman for a half day or a full day, pay one flat price, and let them do everything on your list.
The honeydew list.
Yeah. So that's 303-727-9600. It's that easy. Handyman Matters. They've been with me on my referral list for years. 303-727-9600. Handyman Matters. Look for them on my referral list at referralist.com, 303-727-9600. All right, so you have kudos, Aaron, for who? And I have lines open at 303-713-TALK. Go ahead, Aaron.
Day, man, I just got out of my closing. Let me tell you, he thought it would sell for about $240 to $245. Of course, we listed it for less at $225. Tom, it sold for $260. I am not kidding.
I want you to explain that because people don't understand this. You know what? Somebody called me and said, I'm not using Frank. And I said, why? They said because another realtor came here and they wanted to price it at $275, and Frank said he wanted to list it at $240. She said, why shouldn't I take the guy that's going to list it for $275? And I said, because if you list it at $275, it's going to sit on the market. The longer it sits on the market, the weaker it looks. Then what happens is they put in a lower bid, and then you start lowering the price instead of raising it. In your case, you listed it for what?
$224.9.
And he knew that it was going to sell for more, and you got multiple offers.
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, it even blew him away. Him and his whole team, Mike, Marcy, Jennifer, they do a great job. These people are the creme de la creme in their industry, man. They really do a good job. And I fixed my old house up by his recommendations, to his recommendations, using nothing but referral list members, and everything has went smooth. I've had Zero Res in there. I've had Tiley Roofing. I've had Golden Spike Roofing.
Great.
Everybody from your referral list is awesome.
Thank
I could
you.
not ask for anything better. And I bought my new house and that went well as well. I got contractors from two contractors from your referral list going over there, and they can't beat their prices either. Their prices and their quality is bar none.
Okay, now, Aaron, I want to ask you, he thought it was going to sell for around what?
He thought maybe 240 to 245.
And
amazed him.
So he listed it less than what he thought it would sell for. That's the key.
Yes, sir.
Because he got multiple offers. Yep.
Yeah, and on the first weekend of showings, Tom, we had 58 showings, and we had 9 different offers in the first weekend.
Wow. And that's what's called knowing. That's what, Aaron, thank you so much. That's what's called knowing the market. Did you hear that, Mark? You know, people often wonder, well, wait a minute. This guy says he'll sell it for more. It doesn't matter what people say.
He's got a degree in negotiating.
Yeah, yeah.
How many realtors can say that?
Yeah. So, Keith, what's happening with you?
Well, I'm curious. I go into Subway or some of these places once in a while, and I get sandwiches.
Yeah.
But they're never as thick as the ones that are on the displays.
Never, never. Do you know what?
I'm just wondering what court cases, if any.
Okay, this happened with me when I was doing stories in Florida. I was on TV in Florida, and we did a test, and we went and said to these people, hey, to the advertising agency, look at this sandwich. And I think it was Arby's at the time. And I said, it may not have been, but I remember roast beef, and I said, look at this. And then I did a story where I went out and bought sandwiches and put them down and took photos of them side by side with the ads. I did it with ice cream, with sandwiches, with everything, and it was funny. Then I got called by one of the agencies who showed me what they do. They're legally, well, they could fudge and break the law, but they don't. The sponsors are usually pretty straight, and legally they do not misrepresent the product. They literally put the amount of beef that will be on that sandwich in that picture. They don't add to it. What they do is fluff it and fold it in a certain way. It's called food art. They also have red dye they can spray on it to make it look fresher. For ice cream, sometimes they will use Crisco to make it shine instead of the actual ice cream, because they don't say this is the ice cream. They have tricky ways to do things. They use for breads, with a crust, they'll use a shellac or a spray varnish, a shiny shellac that'll make it shine. They use for turkeys, they do that. It is amazing what these agencies do. It's called food art. Now, I don't mean food art like you see on the cook-offs and the chefs and all that. I'm talking about advertising art. So, from what I know, Keith, the straight people, the people like, Burger King, McDonald's, Arby's, they're not going to cheat because there's nothing in it for them. They don't want a big news story exposing them. But they make the sandwich, they put all the meat to the front and curl it and fold it, and the more surface area, edges they call it, the bigger the sandwich looks. But it's probably the same, it's just presented differently.
Okay.
But it's very interesting you brought that up.
The one that kills me is Little Caesars Pizza. They will show a pizza on TV that's got more cheese and pepperoni than anything you've ever seen in your life. Then you go spend the $5 or $6 for it. My God, it's nothing like the picture.
Now, Mark, that might be cheating, maybe. I don't know. But they're not supposed to add to the product anything they don't have in the real product. But in the event of the ice cream, they didn't even use ice cream in some of theyese cases. And I think one of the excuses was that they did not represent that as the ice cream. It was something like feeling like ice cream, Breyers or whatever, and it wasn't Breyers. But there are tricky ways that people word things to make it legal in advertising. But here's the real truth about advertising that a lot of people do not understand, okay? Bait and switch, false advertising, misleading advertising, all of this is covered by the Federal Trade Commission, okay? Unless it's drug-related or supplements, that's FDA. But the Federal Trade Commission, what do you think they do about false advertising and bait and switches?
Next to nothing.
Right, exactly. It is so expensive to prosecute a case and to prove damages, they hardly ever go after people unless it is egregious. And I mean, years ago, there were cases where they had these flyers, these colored flyers they would put in the Sunday paper for sales. Now, they still do that. I mean, although papers are going away and a lot of it's online, digitally. Of course, they do have digital ads now. But they would have these flyers where you could get this TV for a certain price or this piece of furniture or something. And when you go to the store, there was only one or two of them. Okay? And this was causing great problems. They didn't bait and switch. They had it, but they said, oh, we're sold out. So they then started looking into it because of the complaints. But that's the only time, is if they get tons of complaints. And then they don't necessarily fine people or arrest them or sue them. They just say, here are the guidelines. And they say, like, you have to have so many in supply. You have to have this. You have to have that. Anyway, we have more coming up. We have David Salisbury with us. If you have any last-minute questions, I do have a couple emails. He is an estate planning and trust and will attorney. We'll talk about him and talk more to you at 303-713-TALK.
From the L&L Heating and
Little Caesars has plus commercials. Some of the most clever commercials. Number one off the middle.
Geico is one more of the clever ones. Isn't it Geico? Who's the one that says, if you like so-and-so, then you'll like, being kicked on an airplane with kids kicking?
Oh, that's a good commercial.
Walking into a glass door.
No, that's the one.
That's direct TV.
They open the
you're right.
They open up the soda. They like soda flying all over.
Yeah. I love laughing. That's a good one.
Isn't that weird? We can't even think of the product.
No, I just thought of that.
Most of the time I don't. I just remember if it's, I think it's close.
Dockers.
I don't remember the product.
With your traffic and weather and peak
What about Dockers?
Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
Binging on episodes of America's favorite drama. This is tonight. The wait is finally over. Emmy-winning.
It's funny to me, people from New
returns
York,
for an all-new
if they
episode
like it,
after the hilarious new
they
game
got
show
had
Alex
experience
Games tonight on NBC.
I think many people have
Well,
sure.
Not many days go by if you really pay attention that you don't have some kind of Seinfeld moment in your life or hear something.
Oh, God, yeah. And now they can be Curb Your Enthusiasm moments.
Yeah.
He's really clever.
They just don't have as many episodes yet.
Yeah. He was the creator of the show.
Yeah, it's not the
Yeah, he was, and he's a co-writer with Jerry.
Did you know that he was on Saturday Night Live?
He was a writer.
He only
on the show.
he only has one thing that was written or they
What do
did
you
his-
mean?
Yeah.
He was a writer.
Yeah.
He was actually, from what I saw, he was actually on the show.
I never saw
Well,
him
he was
as
a
cast
writer.
member. He was a writer.
I think he was a cast member because I saw like the background.
He might have been in a skit or something.
Well, it was something like that.
But I think he only had one skit that actually he wasn't very successful for writing.
Right. Yeah. But genius. Just
Oh, he's a genius. So, yeah.
and his show, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, takes it to a new level too, of annoyance.
He is so clever. I remember a time he was looking for this woman that he dated. She was in a wheelchair. She the one where he dated her. Anyway, they had a fight. He didn't know where she lived, didn't have her name. So he's driving down the street. He sees a woman in a wheelchair and he rolls up and asks if she knows this woman. And she says, puts this in the name and she goes, why would I know this woman? Well, she's kind of in a wheelchair like you, and he goes, so, you think we all, and then he gets into this whole thing. It was so funny. That is good.
Well, it's just like in Seinfeld where he asked the Chinese guy where the Chinese restaurant was.
Yeah.
Chinese
I love Wanda Sykes.
She's very funny.
Yeah. Tom Martino here with wide open lines, 303-713-TALK. You can get right through if you want to.
We have about 6 or 7 minutes left. David Salisbury, attorney at law. What are the biggest calls you get? I've never really asked you that. When you do a lot of advertising with us about wills and probate and all that, do you get sudden urgency calls in your business for somebody died, they don't know what to do?
Yeah, I get those periodically. I also get, like, in the summer, right before people start taking trips.
Oh.
We're going away on Friday, and it's like Wednesday.
Oh.
Could we get a will done? If you were actually an older client of mine already, I'll do anything I can to get it done. But if you're a new client, it's like, nah.
Now, do you
But mostly death. People call up and say, my dad died.
What do I do?
I have no idea what to do. And they also think they need to come in immediately. And very, very, very seldom does anyone need to come in immediately?
You know,
I tell them, get the grieving done, you know, have the service.
It's a terrible thing to think about, but really, a lot of people, they don't know what to do when someone dies. Do you call the police? Do you call an ambulance? Do you call a coroner? I mean, really, it's okay. It's like I said, it's not a thing you want to think. You walk in, your spouse or buddy, listen, it can happen at any age, right?
Yeah.
I'm in my 60s. I mean, you find your spouse or your father, your mother, a kid, God forbid, you know, as my mom would say, your kid. Okay, what happens? What do you do? I really don't know.
You're supposed to call the police.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Mark?
I probably would call the police, yeah. I never thought about it, but what else would you do?
I never thought about it. Okay, well, anyway, that's one of you know, and David has always been good to talk to our people that call him and answer questions free of charge, and then do initial consultations. And when Salisbury's not here, it's 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911. Of course, David Salisbury is on our referral list. Hey, Michael, what's going on with the dealership? Michael?
Hey guys, good afternoon.
What's happening?
Hello. Hey, so I bought a BMW back in late August. 4-wheel drive vehicle, X-Drive.
Uh-huh.
First morning that we experienced some severe weather conditions, back on, actually December the 21st, a lot of ice on the road. Took a corner, and the vehicle completely lost traction. And
what kind of vehicle is it?
It's a BMW 430.
430. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. I think they're all-wheel drive.
Right. Okay. All-wheel drive.
Well, that's quite different. That's quite different than a four-wheel, because a four-wheel, many four-wheels allow you to engage a differential, and it locks tighter than all-wheel. All-wheel distributes to all wheels, but not all wheels at the same time. And it's supposed to go to the one that's not slipping. But you could have more than one slipping, and then you'd only have two wheels. So I just want to let people know that it's not really all wheels going. So anyway, you lost traction, and I can see where that could happen. Did you get into an accident?
Well, not with another person. No. I mean, again, we cracked the curb and caused, you know, almost $13,000 worth of damage to the axis, the real axles, the bearings.
So what is the problem, do you think? So what do you want? I'll just get right to that. What do you expect?
They have summer tires for the vehicle when we bought it in August.
Yeah.
And that wasn't known to us. We bought
well, Michael, that's your responsibility, Michael.
Weather conditions.
Michael, that's your responsibility. Seriously, I'm really trying to be kind here. I mean, if you buy a vehicle, you buy it as is, or even if you buy it new, it's your responsibility. They don't have to say to you, by the way, Michael, these are summer tires because it's summer now, and when winter comes along, you may want to get winter tires. Really, they don't do that.
I've got an Audi, and if I don't put snow tires on it, it's
listen. I don't
useless.
I don't mean to blow you out, okay, Michael. I really don't. I appreciate that you called, but that is really zero we can do about that. Zero. Jill, you have a question for David.
Yeah, just real quick. I want to gift $75,000 to my son. He's buying a home with Frank Duran. I mean, that's his real estate person, and I had heard. I thought that you said
no. There's no limit.
There is no limit.
No.
You just have to fill out a form, right?
Right. There is a limit. Yeah, $5.5 million is the limit, and
right,
that's actually no. There is no limit. The 5.5 is the limit for no taxes.
Gotcha.
So if you fill out a gift tax return, can you do that for people, David?
I don't do that for people.
Because it's so simple.
Well, it's simple, but also I just don't do tax returns. I've had a lot of people ask me, and it's just, yeah.
Okay, so what you do is you fill it out, and what they do, you put down the amount and subtract 14, and the other is kept on file against your estate.
But it won't affect either my taxes nor my son's?
Nothing. No. Zero. Nothing.
So is there any downside?
No. Nothing.
You're out $75,000.
Now, with the house, Jill, with the house he buys, the lender may have a problem with that. I just want to tell you that sometimes lenders do have a problem with gift. No, they don't have a problem with gift, do they? They have a problem with
they
loan.
want to make sure you don't have to pay it back.
That's right. That's the part. You're right.
They want to make sure.
It's a gift. It's a real gift. That's right. So you can show the gift tax return. I mean, lenders don't want parents helping kids with a down payment and then the kids have to pay it back, because then the debt-to-income ratio is not what it's supposed to be. So if you're truly giving them a gift, then they have no problems with that at all. So, Paul, you want to know if the Rocky Flats settlement is taxable?
That's right. There's some pretty big checks out here around Rocky Flats.
Normally,
is that taxable or not?
Normally, casualty losses and damages and paid are not taxable generally, okay? But you have to check. You have to check for your particular circumstances. But most of the time, when you win money in a lawsuit for damages, they're not taxable because it's assumed you lost that amount. Thank you, guys, for everything. We appreciate you, Tom. Common Man, Patrick Abramson, and David Salisbury, 720-493-3911. Are you one of the unfortunate homeowners who did home improvements without visiting the giant...
Dive in. Perfect. I was going to say that if someone died, you know what would you do? Install sound.
Some people don't. I will be like, okay. They don't realize. Well, have you ever talked to these hopefuls? Sure, yeah. Now, isn't that weird? If we talk like this, it's fine. Yeah. But if you're like this, it's just something weird. Then did Seinfeld do one about that? Yeah. Close talk. And then also...
He loved his parents.
He bad Seinfeld trivia is Frank Duran. Low time.
That was the puppy shirt one.
Oh my God!
That's why he wore the puppy shirt.
There's so many moments. The low
I said what?
I don't want to be a pirate. But the close talk.
Oh,
God Almighty, that's right.
I don't have it.
But like people like in the canyon. I drive the canyon. There's no way
I could print out another one.
Get around me. There's 30 people. Why drive so close? Yeah. And you know the other one. Do you think I'm going to go faster? What do you think? I just need to know. And here's the other one. The touchers. Oh. Here it is. How about that? How about the touchers? Dan, I've seen you. The touchers.
Oh, and you like it? Oh, don't you love it?
They just talk to you like this. Watch. So, hey, man. Yeah. They're always like.
So George said, "Oh, don't you love that? Oh, I love that."
Love hearing you on the show. I agree with you.